All right, chat. We're live again. Live. Absolutely. Every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Let's pull this up. Let's pull it up. How you doing? Chasing your dreams? Doing the right thing? I hope. I absolutely hope. Absolutely. All right, so, chat, you are not watching boring election results. You're watching political Darwinism with campaign signs. We follow the facts, the money, the maps, and the meltdowns. Yeah, fried frequencies. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. Right on time, right on time. So hit like, subscribe, become a member, drop a super chat so your question jumps into the room, the best chat in the world, because this chat is smarter than half the panels on cable news. And we try to answer one question. Is this a normal primary or the beginning of a 2026 political purge? Talk to us, POTUS.
Everything all over Washington, yeah.
Mr. President, you mentioned that this is being paid for out of pocket, but why is Congress in pocket? Explain sort of the difference.
Well, they're not. Congress is approving. Yeah, Congress is approving money for security. It may go. Some of it may go here for additional security. I don't know, but Congress is approving money. But this building, I mean, I put up the money, built this building, along with a lot of great patriots. People have put up a lot of money to build the building, and we have a building that is going to be, I think it's going to be potentially the most beautiful building in all of Washington, and with that is great military capacity. We're building it in conjunction with the United States military and the Secret Service.
I love that he's giving this interview while the skill saw is spinning, those hammers are swinging. There's just so much productivity going on right now. It's hilarious.
Well, they have a budget in Secret Service and the military to do some of the work that you see right here.
We got Marcos Arujo saying, Island Man. There you go. What do you mean? What do you mean?
So the answer is, I think they want to enhance what you see. It's very powerful. You see what's happening. It's very powerful concrete. It's 9,000 pound concrete.
The JR1302. Explain yourself. What are you talking about?
That, if you know anything about contract, that's very, very strong. That's very strong concrete. But they probably want to enhance the area. They're going to spend money. This is a very sacred piece of land. This is the White House, and they want to do things, but...
Did you hear that? Very sacred part of land. It is the White House. There you go. What a nice way to think about it, right? Just absolutely brilliant. Great words.
All of everything that you see and money that's being put up to build the ballroom, and again, the ballroom, it's necessary for the ballroom to be built with what you see over here. It's all knit in. The air conditioning, the heating, the drone capacity, the shield. You know, the ballroom becomes a shield for everything that you see right here. Without that, they couldn't have this. They couldn't build the lower floors.
So he's essentially building something absolutely brilliant for the presidents to come in the future. What a gentleman. What do you think, chat? Do you agree or disagree?
Without that shield over the top of it, it's a shield that will totally protect what's downstairs. They have a lot of things going on downstairs, and some of it you see. This goes down 6 stories. You see 3 stories because it's already been built. This will be, very shortly, this will be in the form of the roof goes along these lines. Basically...
6 stories? What do you need 6 stories for? Someone is writing a book with 6 stories of a ballroom. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It goes outside. You see where the wood is. You're going outside of that line, and then it goes straight up. and it's all protection, and everything's together. You can't build one without the other. And what we have is we have the safest building ever built, in my opinion. You can have, and you know, the other thing is, when we're right on budget, we're right on plan. The only budget change would be that we doubled the size at the request of the military. We doubled the size, but we're right on budget, right on plan, and originally we were going to build a much smaller room, and it wouldn't have done the job. It just wouldn't have done the job. You have too many events. Like if we have President Xi coming here, we have no place to put him. We had the King and the Queen the other day, and we had 1,000 people wanted, and we ended up having 100 people sitting in a very small room. So they've been after this for a long time, but maybe more important is the safety element. This is a shield that protects everything that's inside, everything that's on top. And, you know, obviously the White House was built in 1792. It's awfully hard to do that kind of a capacity that we did here. So this will give future presidents, but you have to understand, when this is...
Mr. Rick74 has joined the chat saying 21 Trump endorsement win last night. MAGA, baby. There you go. There you go. There you go. We got Hugh G. There you go, buddy. Saying F Trump. Well, instead of saying that, can you just talk about what you dislike about his policies or his actions and try to stay away from kind of just those types of mean things said to a person? Like, what do you dislike about him? Like, what are the actual things, you know? Thank you, Hugh G.
Finished. My term ends shortly after that. This is really for other presidents. This is not for me. This is my gift to the United States of America. I'm going to be able to use it very little, because when it's finished, we're talking about 6 or 7 months. But it will be used for hopefully hundreds of years for other presidents. And there will never be anything like this built again. There'll never be a room built like with the safety. As an example, if we had the White House Correspondents' Dinner here, would have been no problem.
Sir, you said that this will be when it opens, 6, 7 months.
Hugh G's. Okay, he's saying he's a P3D and a con man. All right. Do you have any proof to back up that data? Would like to hear that. Yeah, those are not good things. All 3 things that you mentioned are definitely not good things, buddy. Thank you for jumping in on the chat.
Around that time, all about the first event.
I have. I better not tell you about that, Daniel. But yeah, we have. Everybody wants to be here for the first event. We're talking about heads of nation, so we have some very special places that it could happen for them. You know, we had literally, if the king and queen were.
We got Brenda Myers jumping in the chat saying you can show the dummies the truth, but their father of lies control them. MAGA, God wins. Fight, fight, fight. Praise the Lord. There you go. There you go. We got a supporter. We got a supporter. Can you please explain your comment?
You know, we had this finished, we would have had
Hamster Time says he looks like an old P3D. Please explain. What do you mean by that? And Francois, corruption at its worst. He's building a ballroom for future presidents. Please let me know what are you getting at there? Thank you for your chat, Francois.
An event that would have been 10 times such. I mean, we literally were in a little room in the White House. Presidents, now we're not even talking about safety. Presidents have been asking for this literally from the time the White House has been built. But on record, for 150 years, they've said, what about a big room? And you all know, you probably attended, they have some where they use tents. If it rains, it's a disaster.
We got John saying he is lying and mocking everybody. What's he lying about? And what's he mocking everybody about? Trying to steal Greenland? I don't know about that. I heard mixed things. I think he wants to allegedly create some type of defense system there to protect America. But I could be wrong with what I heard.
You mentioned that this is going to be a gift to America.
Yeah.
Future president of the country. What is going to give America?
We will have to have a safe country. We have to have a great country. We have to make sure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon. All of the things that you see me fighting for so hard. And it's always tough. You know, we're negotiating with Iran, and then you have the Democrats, I call them the Democrats, putting in a bill that Trump should immediately stop. You know how it is to negotiate with a country where you're beating them badly?
James Moore jumping in on the chat saying Greenland has natural resources as well. Is that one of the reasons? Which natural resources does Greenland have?
They come to the table, they're begging to make a deal, because they're begging to make a deal. I hope we don't have to do the war, but we may have to give them another big hit. We may have to give them another big hit. I'm not sure yet. You'll know very soon. But how do you feel when you're negotiating? You're winning every point, and they say, but in Washington, they want to stop you from negotiating. They want to stop you, and it's only political. It's the Democrats. They're dumb. It's a new name. It's a very accurate name. So I'm in the middle of a negotiation. I'm saying you cannot have a nuclear weapon.
James Scheider is saying such a doofus. Let me know. What are you saying that for?
And it comes over the wire that the Democrats want to stop Trump from further negotiations. They want
Okay, thank you, James Moore.
to stop Trump from, if he has to, giving them another slap. They want to have a nuclear weapon to blow up the Middle East and to blow up, frankly, the world. It's not going to happen. Nice to see you, by the way. Good job.
How close were you to striking Iran?
I was an hour away. We were all set to go. You're talking about yesterday.
Yes.
We were going to be striking it would have been happening right now. Yeah, it was all done. The boats, the ships are all loaded.
We got the JR1302 saying the Burger King. What do you mean by the Burger King? We got Brenda Meyer saying TDS right there. Right there.
Loaded, they're loaded to the brim, and we're all set to start. They said that they feel they've had for the first time in almost 47 years. You know, Iran's been the bully of the Middle East for 47 years. I mean, literally the bully of the Middle East. And they're nasty, very dangerous. They wanted a nuclear weapon. Had I not terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, had I not terminated it, see, that's the win. That can't happen with the real structure.
On Cuba, what do you want to see from Cuba's government or the option of military action?
You're talking about Cuba? Well, we're going to see. Look, Cuba's calling us. They need help. Look, Cuba is a failed nation.
Cuba definitely needs help, and we've seen that on our previous streams with Nick Shirley reporting there. Cuba is in dire need of food, oil, electricity, and just so many things to at least keep them afloat and moderately healthy and happy. Such a sad story with what is happening in Cuba. Hopefully that gets resolved as soon as possible. And I cannot help but mention that USA might have something to do with that whole situation over there. And if that's true, USA should definitely try to help Cuba become even stronger than what they previously were.
Needs help, and we'll do that. Just hold them, though. It's like an exercise game for it. Give that to me, I'll hold it. It's so beautiful. See, I look so thin. They'll say, oh, he's gotten so thin because I'm holding this. You don't have to look at my waist. You can look at this. You saw enough of...
All right, let's see if there's any accuracy here. Okay. All right. Who said that? Who said that? The JR 1302 said, I am insinuating that Trump and the mascot from the fast food chain Burger King are the same person. Oh, man. We got the best chat in the world. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Become a member. Throw in a super chat. We're going live every day of 2026.
My waist along with President Xi.
Are you confident that you can reach a diplomatic deal
With Cuba?
We got fried frequencies saying right on budget unless we decide to double its size. Yeah. Instead of 6 stories, let's make it 12. You know what? Why not make it 47 stories? For just, 47th president, 47 stories, might as well.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I am very prone toward the Cuban-Americans. They've been incredible people. Many of them have lost family members. They've been very badly hurt themselves.
Brendan Myers jumping on the chat saying, Orange Man, Jesus loves us all, no matter color. What's your point? That's right, Jesus loves everybody.
They've been in prison. They've come to this country and they've been very successful. The Cuban-American people in Miami, I mean, they are amazing people. Most of them are in Miami, in Florida, but mostly in Miami. I'm very, very prone to helping them. I mean, they've been, I think I got 97.
Valid argument. Mr. Rick74 jumping in on the chat saying, if MAGA is dead, then why did 21 Trump endorsements win last night? Riddle me that, Trump haters. Very, very good question.
7% of that vote. I want to help them. Now, they have family members in Cuba.
Claudette saying, my father is a Cuban. Great music, great food, great people over there in Cuba. What a cool country. And also says, stop blockading the island. We don't want America to help. We will help ourselves. There you go. What do you think is the solution, Claudette? And I just want to apologize on behalf of the United States. Large majority of people in the United States want only the best for Cuba and every other country.
But they've been treated very, very badly. They've been treated extremely badly, and we're going to get that solved. That's not going to be hard for us to solve.
But you can do that without changing the regime here.
Well, I don't know about changing the regime. I could do that, whether you change a regime or not. It's been a rough regime. They've killed a lot of people, but it's a country that really needs help. It has nothing. They can't turn.
Definitely needs help. And just to jump back on that Greenland thing, Greenland has major rare earth potential, and that is one reason the U.S. cares about it. But the bigger reason is Arctic strategy plus China supply chain competition plus military geography. So they have neodymium. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the meums that they have, but they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those are for magnets, aircraft alloys, heat-resistant magnets, defense tech. I can go over them if you guys want. Electronics, magnets, sensors, lasers, ceramics, electronics, phosphors, screens, lighting, catalysts, polishing, and batteries. They have all of those rare earths in Greenland. That may be a reason the United States wants to go there. And the rare earths are used in fighter jets, missiles, radar systems, drones, electronic vehicle motors, wind turbines, phones and electronics, satellites, and precision guidance. So if they have access to that, they have access to capital, right? And Greenland sits between North America, Europe, Russia, and the Arctic shipping lanes. The U.S. already has the Pituffik space base there, used for missile warning, missile defense, and space operations. So Greenland is not just a mining story, it's an Arctic military and shipping story. So Greenland matters because it has the minerals of the future and the geography of a military chessboard. The rare earths are real, but the hype skips the hard part. You still have to mine them in one of the most brutal, expensive places on Earth. So yeah, America wants access, but Greenland is not a treasure chest. You just open. It is a frozen supply chain battlefield. Thank you for the chat, buddy. You know who you are who told me about Greenland.
On the lights, they can't eat. We don't want to see that.
And I would give you a shout out, but I forgot what your name was.
How much notice did the Gulf nations have that you were going to do these strikes before they asked you to pause?
They called me over the last 2 days to say they made a lot of progress, because we have them negotiating with us. And primarily Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait a little bit, and Bahrain, and some of the others. And we have them negotiating with them. We're all working together. It's like a team. And Israel, of course, and Israel's been a great partner. And so we are negotiating together. I got a call from numerous of these people. They know the people in Iran. Don't forget, when you talk about regime change, I think it's the ultimate regime change because the first level and the second level are no longer with us. They're someplace, but they're no longer with us. So we have real regime change. But I got a call yesterday, sir, could you wait? We think we're close to a deal. And that's okay. Now, I've heard it before with these people, and they change their mind. I made deals with them, no nuclear. We immediately get the nuclear dust. And they said, you're the only one can get it because the bombers did such an unbelievable job.
So unless my sources are wrong, no, the U.S. did not close all of its bases in Greenland. It downsized from a Cold War footprint to one crucial chess square. Pacific Space Base, that base is not about nostalgia. It's missile warning, satellites, Arctic control, and watching the top of the world.
That the mountain literally collapsed on top of it. They said us, and they thought China would be the only two countries that could even get it. But I think
Mr. Rick74 jumping in on the chat saying Cuba has been living under communism for years. Trump is liberating them, and that guy is complaining. Absolutely. Do we need to put a poll? Would you rather live in a communist country or something else?
I think it's important to get it maybe psychologically more than anything else.
How long did the Gulf nations know? How long did they know that you were planning the Gulf nations?
They knew I was getting ready to attack. I didn't tell them. I'd never tell anybody when.
You're in constant contact?
I never tell anybody when, but they knew that we were very close. I would say I was an hour away from making the decision to go today. And we would probably not be talking about a beautiful ballroom today. We'd be talking about that. And I had made the decision. So they called up, they had heard I made the decision. They said, sir, could you give us a couple of more days? Because we think they're being reasonable.
How long is it take for Iran to come to?
Well, I mean, I'm saying 2 or 3 days, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something, maybe early next week, a limited period of time. Because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would start with Israel. They would blow it up, and they would blow it up fast, but they'd blow it up. And I'll tell you what, they'd go after Saudi Arabia, they'd go after Kuwait, they'd go after UAE, they'd go after Qatar, I think they go after the entire Middle East, and it would be a whole different negotiation. It would be nuclear holocaust. And there's no question in my mind that they'd use it. There's no question. And I deal with these people. They're extremely radicalized. These are not people like what I deal with you. You're a very nice guy. These are people that are seriously radicalized. They would use it. The only question, would it be the first minute, the first hour, or the first day?
How many pause a few times? Does there come a point where you're no longer going to be in
I'm not doing this politically. Look, everyone tells me it's unpopular, but I think it's very popular. When they hear that it's having to do with nuclear weapons, weapons that could take out Los Angeles, could take out major cities very quick. When they hear that, when they're explaining, I'll tell you what, when we explain it to people, I don't really have enough time to explain it to people. I'm too busy getting it done. When they understand, I think it's frankly very popular, but whether it's popular or not popular, I have to do it. Because I'm not going to let the world be blown up on my watch. It's not going to happen.
the primary with Thomas Massie and your endorsed candidate.
Yeah.
Do you think your candidate can beat him? And what are you seeing?
Yeah, Thomas Massie's a terrible congressman. He's been a terrible congressman from day one. Dealing with him.
Hugh, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
It's just a horrible. I don't think he's a Republican. I think he's actually a Democrat. He's not a libertarian. Sometimes they say he's really a Democrat. He votes against us all the time. He voted against the border wall. He voted against men playing in women's sports. He voted against transgender for everybody, the mutilization of your children. He voted against, again, open borders. We have the best border we've ever had right now. Nobody's coming in. I mean, a report just came out. In the last 11 months, literally nobody has been allowed into our country illegally. We're taking people legally. They go.
Absolutely. What a great idea, right? We got Sleepy Watcher jumping on the chat saying focusing on domestic development, stopping inflation, and building a healthy community, cultivating oneself, regulating one's family, governing the state, and bringing peace to the world is the key to success. Absolutely. Do you agree or disagree, chat? We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat, help this channel thrive.
Through a process, but nobody's coming to our country.
We got some pushback by Robin. What did Robin say? Robin Wyckoff saying stupid survey. What do you mean? What's stupid about that survey? Please explain yourself, buddy.
But we've taken out hundreds of thousands of people. We had 10,000, it was 11,888 murders. Many of these murders allowed into our country from prisons. They were in prisons. Many of these people killed more than one. More than 50% killed more than one person. This was gross
Great use of emojis, Hugh. Love it.
malfeasance. This was on behalf of the Biden administration. Border czar. She never called, not one time. Never called, not one time. She never called the Border Patrol. She never called ICE. She never called law enforcement. She never went to the border. Think of it. I used to call every single day. And that's recently. Now I call less. We have nobody coming through. We had caravans coming through with tens of thousands of people pouring into our country. We had no idea who they were. We would have been, I'll tell you what, our country would have been destroyed. If they won this election, our country would have been, we have now the hottest country anywhere in the world. If they had won the election, our country would have been destroyed. Our country was a dead country 2 years.
Do you guys agree with POTUS? With that, honestly, do you agree with POTUS? Were we in a good situation?
Years ago, and now we have really the hottest country in the world, and this is the ballroom, and it's going to be something incredible. You see the quality of it, and they go right.
We got Mohammed saying Trump forever, USA with red hearts. There you go. Supporting POTUS.
Those columns go right into the roof, and on top of the roof, we're going to have the greatest drone empire that you've ever seen, and it's going to protect Washington. Thank you all very much. We have a little breakfast for you.
Really?
Yeah. Where is the breakfast? I'd have it. Where is
What a
it?
gentleman.
Oh, it's right over there. We have a little bit of a breakfast for you. I figured I'd be nice to you, Christian.
Rededicate you to thousands of people.
That's great.
Robin Wyckoff says, under the last administration, the U.S. sucked. There you go. Agree or disagree? We got Donald Gerard saying Goths for Trump. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. We got Mr. Rick74 saying Trump will go down as one of the greatest presidents in United States history. Agree or disagree?
Yeah. I did.
That's right.
Well, I think that it was great. Thousands of people showed up, and it was a beautiful beautiful day. I did scripture. You think it's easy to read scripture? It's not easy to read scripture. That's a whole different ballgame. That's not.
Talix says the last great president was Kennedy, and we know how that one ended. There you go, buddy. Yeah, unfortunately. Thank you for jumping in on the chat. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
Not like reading a speech, we will build the wall. This is a whole different deal, but I did it proudly, and I guess it was broadcast. We had tremendous crowds. I think religion is very important for a country. I think having this country was built largely on religion, if you look. It was built so. And when you have strong religion, you have less crime. It's just a fact. You know, whatever it may be, it's like, gee, I want to go to heaven, so I'm not going to do this or that. Who knows?
True.
But we have a country that was based on religion, and I'm very proud of that. And if you look and you see all of the polling, I mean, polling is so fake. But on this, it's not fake. Religion is really going up in the last year. And during the time, I mean, really during the time I first got elected,
we got John HC8 saying, lying again. Please let us know who is lying. Who is lying? Thank you, buddy.
2016, it's a much different thing. I'm very proud of that. Religion is a good thing. Christianity, it's a great thing for our country.
True.
I mean, so many of the things that we've done, the successes that we've had have been based on Christianity and religion. So I'm very proud of that. Religion is taking off like our country is taking off. Our country's hotter now than it's ever been, and I'll tell you, religion is making a tremendous comeback. You look at churches today, they're full. You go back 2-3 years, nobody was going. So we're very happy with it.
Mr. President, why do you think about the hate crime that we see happening? Jews as well?
Yeah, no, I'm always concerned. I see things happening. Look, from the beginning of mankind, you've had that. You've had the good and you have the bad. I'd like to get rid of the bad, but somehow that's going to be there. But the good has...
We got Mark McInerney saying liberals and Democrats are crazy. There you go. There you go. Thank you for your chat. Instead of kind of like balling all the liberals and Democrats into like one pot, can you specify like what actions or thoughts or ideas leads you to believe that, or any experiences you have had with a liberal or a Democrat, rather than just generalizing that?
It's been many times what it was. Really many times what it was.
If Congress is not going to this $1 billion for your security funding, would you be willing, or would you willing to go to your donors to ask for that money?
Well, this is money for the whole premises, including the East Wing. This is the East Wing section. But the ballroom is, as you see, it's going up. It's ahead of schedule. It's larger because they wanted more military capacity. They wanted...
We got Sean Kearns jumping in on the chat saying, go to Gaza to see what happens. Like the Italian activist who was that and that. Yeah. Unfortunate. Absolutely unfortunate. Yeah. Was that Italian activist a journalist, or was that Italian activist just an activist?
More drone capacity. They needed a larger roof, and frankly, we needed a larger facility. And
there we go. Brenda Myers jumping on the chat again, saying, "Love one another as yourself. Hate evil doings." There you go. Well said.
So we're doing that, and we've done this in strict coordination with the military and with the Secret Service, and they've been great to work with. The money that they're talking about is the surrounding areas and maybe enhancing some security aspects of the building. But the building, as you see, it's a very active site, and a lot of people are amazed. And by the way, that floor goes down 3 floors, just so you understand. You're seeing almost the top floor. That floor goes down 3 floors, and there are many things in there having to do with security. And many of those things are going to be taken from there and put onto the roof of the building. And that has to do with drone and missile capacity.
A lot of presidents have done renovations to the White House, to all these things. Why do you think people are so mad about your renovations?
Because I'm doing it.
The Meridian Hill Park, you've got the water flowing again, all of it. And they just seem to hate you for it.
It's a sad thing, actually. You know, it's very nice.
Do you agree with that? Are they hating it just because he's doing it, or because of it actually being done and built? There we go. Check this. Drop in some Statue of Liberty emojis. There you go.
I appreciate the question. First I said, oh, this is going to be a negative question. Then I heard she's really saying, why do they hate you for fixing the water fountains? So, you know, we have 40. I know. Because I want to see Washington be beautiful. To me, it's very important. But as an example,
got Lone Wolf and Cub jumping in on the chat. Adios, douchebag rhinos. Massie should have ran as a Democrat. He would have done better. Agree or disagree, chat?
You mentioned the water fountain. We didn't have one water fountain. I think we have 40. We didn't have one in Washington that worked. And soon they'll all be working. Many of them work right now. And I think...
Hamster time saying a crook and a kitty. Can you specify what makes that person a crook and the other thing, please? Thank you so much for jumping in on the chat.
One of the best things, President Obama, President Biden spent much more than $100 million on the reflecting lake between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. They spent much more. They spent, some people say, $200 million. You know what they got out of it?
There we go. Mark McInerney jumping back in on the chat. Very, very nicely saying, well, they support terrorists. Okay, that's absolutely not good. And socialists. That's proven not good. According to our chat, 80% would rather live in USA than in Cuba. And in the other chat, 100% would rather live in USA than in Cuba. So two very valid points. And the third one, the worst, transing children. Yeah, that's unacceptable. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. We have the best chat in the world. Thank you so much. Talk to us, POTUS. And thank you, Mark. Very well said.
A closed lake. It never opened, and when it did, it shut right away. It leaked. It was a disaster. I'm doing a job on the reflecting lake for a fraction of what they paid. Now I've upgraded it I got so into it. I've upgraded it like you wouldn't believe. I'm doing all the walkways outside. I'm doing it properly, but it's a much bigger job. But you see, it's happening now. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to be reflecting again. I took over a dirty, filthy thing that wasn't open, and it was disgusting. And friends of mine would come to the Lincoln or the Washington, and they'd say, "Sir, it's disgusting." I said, "What's disgusting?" The reflecting lake. So I drove down. I looked. We got together. And we have, it's under construction right. It's under construction right now. I want to get it open before
Seems like this was live stream, so there's a few interruptions here.
July 4th, which we'll easily be able to do. It'll be open before that, but easily be able to do. July 4th being a very special day, and it is going to be beautiful. Beautiful blue color, dark blue color. It's very reflective. I put a thing out yesterday showing the reflection. We did a little test. We wanted to see. It's unbelievable. It's like a mirror.
Did it look good?
Well, it's like a mirror. It's beautiful.
And I saw there was guys out there, almost like, are they hand painting it? Is that how they're doing it?
Yeah, well, they're fixing the stone outside, and they're sandblasting the stone. We're doing a much bigger job than we wanted to do. But think of it. Obama and Biden spent over $100 million, and you know what they got? Nothing. They opened it up, and it leaked like a sieve, and they closed it, and it stayed closed. They've been working on it for years. I've been working on this for a couple of months. When it's finished, it's going to be incredible. But we have other fountains, beautiful fountains. They haven't worked in 30 years. They're just sitting there rotting, and most of them are now open. And right across the street, I made a donation, and I'm building Lafayette Park.
Are you really?
And it's going to be beautiful.
How much is the donation?
What a gentleman. Like, how do you dislike that, honestly? Just curious. Just building, making things beautiful, making them functional. I'm trying to understand the bad press he's getting for just building great things and making things much nicer.
I like her.
How much was the donation? How much was the donation to Lafayette?
About $10 million.
Wow. Are you happy with American flag blue?
Well, I put up the American flag.
No, the American flag blue. Are you happy?
I think so. I mean, I'll let you know. I wanted a lighter color blue. The person that really knows this stuff said, no, dark is much better. You don't see the leaves, and things will get in there.
Robert OC says Trump is a child thing. Please let us know what you mean by that. Give us an example, please, and hopefully you are incorrect, because that is very bad.
But most importantly, the dark reflects much better.
Mr. President, why does the establishment...
Constantine, those are your choices for this poll, but no, absolutely not. You have many, many choices.
Claiming so desperately that MAGA's divided.
Well, I think it's the strongest it's ever been.
Robert OC responds with Island Man files. Didn't Island Man and Trump not get along? Like, they did not like each other? And so that kind of debunks that, unless I'm understanding this incorrectly.
A certain senator that was very disloyal to me and to the Republican, Party. He's not even allowed to run for office. We have another big race. This guy Massie is terrible. Let's see what happens. It's not easy beating incumbents, but we have a great guy running against Massie. Massie's a terrible, I think the worst congressman the Republican Party's ever had. That'll be tonight. That'll be good television, and we'll see what happens there. But I think MAGA's never been more together, actually. I'm going to be making an endorsement today in Texas. I'm going to be putting out an endorsement in a little while in Texas, the great state. You know, I won Texas all 6 times, meaning primaries and the race, and I got the highest vote in the history of Texas.
If Island Man and Trump were best friends who shared secrets, according to Let Freedom Ring 2, it should be shown like in the files, right? Do you have like a link to the files where it states that? Thank you for your chat, buddy.
And I love Texas, but I'm going to be making a endorsement at about 12:30, 1 o'clock today for the big race, the Senate race in Texas. And
Barney Bell hyping up Trump, a big, beautiful pool like no one has ever seen before. I love it. Go Trump. There you go. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat, talk to us, POTUS.
I hope you find it good. So I do think, I mean, I appreciate the question, because even CNN, they did a poll 2-3 weeks ago. They said Trump is at 100%. That's Harry Endon. I like Harry Endon. You know, he's got a lot of energy. I like him. But he did a poll, and he's a good pro. And he gives the good and the bad. But I think he's an honorable guy, because we get a lot of good. You know, he predicted I was going to do great with the Muslims in Michigan and win Michigan, and I did. I did good, and I won Michigan by a lot. He made a lot of good predictions, but he did a poll 2 weeks ago that said Trump is, I mean, this is up. You can check 100% popularity with MAGA. MAGA is most of the Republican Party. The rhinos are gone to a large extent. A few of them are still left, so hopefully we get rid of one tonight in the form of Tom Massie, who's horrible. But no.
Who said that? Hugh earlier? Tom Massie should have been a Democrat. Oh my gosh. Calling him a rhino right there in front of everybody.
Oh, it's been amazing. But I'll be making a statement in a little while as to who I'm endorsing in Texas for the Senate. And there are those that say whoever I endorse is going to win. I don't know if that's true, but historically that's absolutely true. I just don't like to say it because I don't like to brag.
Have you found anyone you're running as Lauren Boebert?
Well, I've had my mind made up for a long time, but I just think it's going to be, you know, I just think it's appropriate.
Mr. President, there's reports that President.
There we go. We got Javier Libertario saying, let's go, Donald. Let's end socialism in America. There you go, buddy. There you go. Do you agree or disagree?
He told you during your meeting that perhaps Russian President Vladimir Putin would come to regret invading Ukraine. Did he say that to you?
No, he didn't. No, he never said that.
Mr. President.
Never said he regretted invading Ukraine. Good to know. Hard Dog saying, these trolls say everything they hear someone else say. They don't think for themselves. Just Trump haters. Oh my. That's unfortunate. If that is accurate, it's always very important to think for yourself and, you know, try to put your perspective in both the left and the right and from every angle and to see like what's best, because at the end of the day, we are all humans trying to become better people, and don't let something so silly like being a Republican or a Democrat keep you away from having a friend who's just absolutely beneficial to your life.
You mentioned that the ballroom.
Hugh, thank you so much for the gift, buddy. Appreciate it.
It's a gift. It's a gift from me and from incredible, successful companies and patriots. And they put up close to $400 million. And you see what's happening, and it's beautiful. And again, it's ahead of schedule, unlike the Fed building. Think of it. This building at $400 million, the Fed building.
We got Hamster Time saying no Republican cares about the common man or our countryside and natural beauty. Can you give some examples, please?
At $4 billion, and it's a tiny little project by comparison.
And you spend a lot of time renovating the White House, the Rose Garden, the colony.
I do. Putting up the American flag, those flagpoles on each side. Nice.
Why was this so important to be part of your legacy?
Well, this is the most important because number one, security, and number two, it was so needed just on a social basis for presidents. And again, I'll be here for a very short period.
Lone wolf.
Period of time when this opens. I'll be here for a very short period of time. This is really being built for other presidents. It's not being built for me. And I'm a really good builder. The thing I do best in life is build. I'm a great builder, and I build beautiful product. There will never be anything like this. I always.
What a man, right? Barney Bale jumping in on the chat saying Trump cares about his legacy. He will go down as the greatest president ever. No one can go through what he has. God is holding him up. Very well said. Very well said. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw me in a super chat.
I admired the facade of the Supreme Court. I said, I wonder if that can be duplicated or bettered, even not to say bettered, but even bettered. And we've actually bettered it. What we're doing is something that you'll never see it again.
Mr. President, one more on Iran, if I may. When you were having your discussions with the regional partners, the regional leaders, did they express to you any concern about Iran's ability to still retaliate in the event of U.S.?
They have a little ability. Their missiles are 82% gone, we estimate.
Yo, Leo, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Their capacity to build is very little right now because we hit.
John Dobbins saying F him. Are you saying that you are attracted to somebody or you do not like that person? Trying to understand. And what is the reason for saying that? Thank you for jumping in on the chat.
We hit all of their manufacturing areas. Same thing with drones, largely gone, but they still have a little capacity. Yeah, not much, but they have a little. Their Navy is completely gone. Their Air Force is completely gone. President Xi has promised me that he's not sending any weapons to Iran. That's a beautiful promise. I take him at his word. I appreciated it. We had an amazing time in China. Look, we got along very well before this, but President Xi and I had really an amazing time.
Just because I can't say the things you say, Lone Wolf, a lot of people see those things, buddy.
He could say the same thing, but he promised that he's not sending any weapons. And if you think about it, he gets 40% of his oil. He's not sending oil boats in, tankers in with 20 destroyers alongside of it. No, he wants it. He does want it open, like me. I want it open, and we'll get it open. But Iran is.
Hey, let freedom ring. Try not to spam the chat, but if you have a statement, please insert some facts. Give some details about the reason you are saying P3D alert.
Used the Straits as a military weapon for 47 years, really much more than that. And that's not their Straits. That's international waterways. That's not for them to do. And look, they've learned their lesson. If I left today, it would take them 25 years to rebuild. But
at least, right? At least. Mr. Rick 74 jumping on the chat saying, yeah, the Democrats would rather hang the pride flag above the United States flag. Unfortunate.
Not leave it. We're going to do it right so that in 5 years, 10 years, if you have a bad president who doesn't want to do what's right to do, this should have been done by Obama. This should have been done by Biden. It should have been done by other presidents long before me. And everybody agrees to that. They agree to it.
Mr. President, you pushed to suspend the federal gas tax.
We got Mark jumping on the chat saying liberals don't have facts. They have CNN. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Are there other initiatives that you're...
Well, there may be. It's very temporary. Yeah, there may be. Anything to keep it down. Look, as soon as this war is over, gas is going to... I had gasoline down to $1.85 in Iowa. I was in Iowa. And the stations had it at $1.85. But I was down to, in many cases...
Oh, just to give you an update, Kamala Harris was born in Oakland, California. Her mother came from India. Her father came from Jamaica. So the clean factual answer is American-born, Indian on her mother's side, Jamaican, black on her father's side. She might have gone to Canada, but she was not born in Canada, allegedly.
Less than $2 a barrel, a gallon. And then I said to myself, this is great. We just hit a new high in the stock market. Everything's going good. I'm sorry, but we have to go down and take a little journey down to we have to do something with Iran. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. You want to see the world exploded? You want to see a problem? And this is peanuts. And I appreciate everybody putting up with it for a little while. It won't be much longer. But you're going to have, and frankly, there is so much oil out there. One of the things that is happening is these big ships are coming up to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska, and they're loading up. But I don't even think about that. What I think about is you can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and they fully understand it.
Mr. President, I once asked you.
Yeah, Sean Kearns, there's no way I can read that chat, buddy. Oh my gosh. But chat, do you agree or disagree with Sean Kearns?
How do you deal with the rise of terrorism? And some time ago, during your first term, you told me success will bring us back.
Success.
Based on that.
All right, let freedom ring. You have just put yourself in a little timeout, allegedly.
Why do you continue to do what you do, knowing that so many people are criticizing you, and at the same time, every day to try to bring that success?
Well, you know, you have some people disagree with, like, the Iran.
Just want to let you know we have the best chat in the world, and we're always trying to create more understanding and peace and love and bring each other together and try to find solutions. So if you just spam the chat, you're definitely going to put yourself on a timeout. And make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Let's learn something.
Iran thing, to me, it's no question. To me, you have to have borders. You have to have walls, and you have to let people in legally, but you have to have borders. Some people think you don't have borders. You should let anybody, murderers, drug dealers, you should let them in. So there is some, but I said to you once, I remember it, the greatest healer of our country, when we had, just before COVID, we were so successful. You know, we had the best economy we've ever had in my first term. This term is going to blow it away, I think, and you see all the numbers. Even during the war, we have the highest stock market we've ever had. I thought the market would go down 25%. And I was okay with that, to get rid of a nuclear potential holocaust. Would have been a nuclear holocaust. So going down 25% is okay if you're going to get rid of a nuclear holocaust. So most people agree with me. When I'm with people and they, let's say, oh, gee, why do... And I say, here's the problem. Is it okay for Iran? And they are very volatile people. I'm being nice. Is it okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon? Everybody says no. I said, then we have nothing further to discuss. You know, it's like one of those things. They will never have a nuclear weapon. Not going to happen. And probably that's going to be very soon. So one way or the other, whether it's military or an agreement.
Yeah, Mr. Rick, he's known to do that.
That'll start opening up very soon.
Mr. President, why would you wait so long to move forward with the Texas surrender? Such as that now both of their names are going to be on the ballot.
Yeah, no, I waited. I've pretty much always known who I was going to endorse, but I just thought this was a good time. You know, the voting's starting, and I thought this was a good time. Cosmo6514
says something bad about Trump. Can you explain what similarities Trump has? Would like to know, because that's a huge statement. Very, very huge statement.
I'm going to be doing that very shortly.
Mr. President, have you put any thought into potentially endorsing someone to run against J.B. Pritzker, like Darren Bailey or...
Well, I like Darren Bailey. J.B. Pritzker is a slob of a governor. You know, he...
Jason Beatrice has joined the chat. Democrats in Congress voted against the Republican bill to end insider trading in Congress. Great job, Democrats. Agree or disagree? Oh my gosh. What would they ever want to do that for, dude? Just hit me, kitty. Hit me. No, hit me. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Do it again. Do it again. Agree or disagree?
You could call me and I'd send the National Guard in. Chicago would have no crime. Look at Washington, D.C. Did you see the crime stats? It's down to like nothing. People go to restaurants now, new restaurants. Restaurants are all being closed in Washington. Now they're building new restaurants. It's a hot city. We have a beautiful city. We have very little crime, almost no crime. And we could have the same thing in Chicago. All he'd have to do is say, President, I don't want to have any crime in Chicago. Can you help me? Within 3 months, Chicago would be a different place.
What about the mayor, Brandon?
What can I say? He's so bad. He's so bad.
Mr. President, you're going to Lawler's district on Friday.
I can't read it, Lone Wolf.
I talked about making healthcare more affordable.
Right.
You've done that. And you made a major announcement yesterday. With
That was a big announcement. Got no coverage. I reduced drug prices by...
Lee 84, Michael R. Pence said Trump is not a good guy, if I am not mistaken. Do you agree or disagree? Is that true? I do not know if that is actually true.
50, 60, 70, 80%, and it gets no coverage. I think it's maybe the other than...
We did a poll with Trump RX on our last stream maybe 24 hours ago, and because we're going live every single day of 2026. And what in the world? So many people are against Trump RX. Can you guys explain to me, like, what you're against? He's saving you guys money. Is it just because the word Trump is on it, or what's actually going on with this? Because this is just ridiculous. Here, right now, I'm going to show you the poll. So here's the poll. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So we have 60.71% says Trump RX is not good for the United States, with just about 40% saying yes, it is good. 39.29%. And that's out of a total of 308 votes. Trump RX. All right. Just kind of interesting to me that, you know, somebody's saving you money and you still do not like it.
healthcare ever, maybe. I brought the price. We paid the highest price. Brought the price. We paid the highest price in the world. Now we're paying.
W's in the chat for Lone Wolf and Cub. What in the world? Thank you so much for the $1.99. Don't read them. I don't want you to get in trouble. Veronica, come over here. Tell Lone Wolf and Cub you love them.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Oh my gosh, you are a legend. Go on and do your push-ups, Veronica. Veronica loves you, Lone Wolf and Cub. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every single day of 2026. Become a member. Throw in a super chat. Bring Veronica out again.
As of now, we're paying the lowest price in the world. Prices of drugs have gone down 70, 80, 90%. For 28 years, they never went down. In my administration, I got it down 1/8 of 1%, and I thought it was great. The first time, the only time in 28 years that it went down. Now I got them down 50, 60, 70, and even 80%. And that has a huge impact on healthcare. Listen, go have breakfast. Have a good time.
Thank you, Mr.
Have breakfast. Enjoy your sight. You can shoot down there, but it is... the next time you come here, those columns will be standing even taller.
How long did it take to design the underneath? Like you said, kind of the military was like, what was the architecture?
Actually, the underneath part's a good question. It's far more complex than the upper, because what you don't see are the floors that are beneath here, and they have very, very important rooms down there. The most important. And this was the one opportunity for the military.
Maybe he's going to let us know what's going on those lower floors. This is what everyone actually wants to know. Come on, POTUS, tell us what's going on.
To do something. You know, they came. Normally, I'd build a ballroom on flat land. I wouldn't have any of this. It would have been built. I'm very fast. I'm a very fast builder. We're way ahead of schedule here, but we went down 6 stories. So it's actually far more complex than the easy part is up. But again, we have a drone-proof roof. We have it's all sealed, and all of this that you see is totally sealed. And we use it as a drone port. We can have unlimited drones up there, and drones are what's happening right now. Thank you all very much.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Don't eat too much.
What do you give us? What do you serve?
Where is it? You're right over here.
We got the boom mic going on over there. All right, very cool. Awesome. Progress. Just so beautiful, man. This is absolutely incredible. Love seeing progress. from the left, from the right, from anywhere, just progress in general.
Where's the food? Oh, it's over here. Enjoy it. We could put it right on top of the foundation, but I'm afraid somebody might fall in. Right? Eat before it gets cold.
We got what was it? Larry Mitchell jumping in on the chat saying Obamacare was trash. There you go. Can you explain the reason Obamacare was actually trash? We'd like to know more. Thank you for your chat, buddy. Oh, Mr. Rick 74 maybe was the catalyst behind that statement, saying, I guess they all thought Obamacare was the greatest. Did y'all like Obamacare? Let me know the reason you liked it or disliked it. Waters. This only ends one way. All right. Let's see the way it ends.
Fox News alert: the president's been speaking with his national security team after calling off airstrikes at the last second.
All right, we got a chat from Cosmo saying Obamacare covers cult deprogramming. Okay, what type of cult programming? Is it fighting or is it deprogramming? Would like to know. Thank you for the chat.
How close were you to striking Iran?
I was an hour away. We were all set to go. You're talking about yesterday.
Yes.
We were going to be striking it would have been happening right now. Yeah, it was all done. The boats, the ships are all loaded. They're loaded to the brim. And we were all set to start.
Our Gulf allies begged the president to give peace a chance, but 47 declared a new deadline, Memorial Day.
I'm saying 2 or 3 days, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something, maybe early next week, a limited period of time.
Bob, how you doing, buddy? Good morning.
Because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
James Barry says, I hope he lives long enough for us to impeach him. Please explain the reason you would like POTUS to be impeached. And do you think he deserves it? And is that good or bad for the United States of America? We're going live every single day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Talk to us, POTUS.
If they had a nuclear weapon, they would start with Israel. They would blow it up, and they would blow it up fast.
The president's ordered his team to be prepared to bomb at a moment's notice. So it could happen tonight, Friday, whenever. Generals say the Iranians are going to wage economic terrorism until we take our fingers off the trigger.
Iran is attacking the Gulf states because they want that pressure put on the administration to stop the war. They got a ceasefire out of it, and now they're extending the ceasefire some 6 weeks, and they're absolutely convinced if they string this out closer to the midterms and oil prices continue to rise as a result of it, that the president may just wash his hands of the whole thing and declare victory. That's kind of what their objective is here. War is fundamentally about breaking will here, and they want to break our will.
The Persians are squirrely. They've been doing this for decades. It's like negotiating with an octopus who has amnesia.
They also are just a fractured country. So you have the leadership of the country, there's the supreme leader, and then there are a lot of officials below the supreme leader that has some influence in the negotiation. It's not sometimes totally clear what the negotiating position of the team is. And I don't know if that's sometimes bad communication, if that's bad faith. I wouldn't pretend to venture a guess there, but I will say with confidence, it's sometimes hard to figure out exactly what it is that the Iranians want to accomplish out of the negotiation.
The Iranians love...
All right, so we got a chat from, I forget the name, but this is regarding the DF family. What is the DF family? That is China's Dongfeng missile family. It's not one missile, it's a whole family of Chinese ballistic missiles, short range, medium range, intermediate range, hypersonic glide systems, and intercontinental nuclear missiles. actually impressive, right? We got the DF-16 that goes 800 to 1,000 kilometers, the DF-17 1,800 to 2,500 kilometers, DF-21 goes about 2,150 kilometers, the DF-26 goes about 4,000 kilometers, and the DF-41 goes 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers. So yeah, it's an entire ladder of pressure, right? The DF-16 threatens Taiwan, DF-21 threatens carriers, the DF-26 threatens Guam, the DF-17 brings hypersonic chaos, and DF-41 is the nuclear long arm. This is China's message to America. Don't get comfortable sailing close to our neighborhood, allegedly. Thank you for the chat, whoever said that. Sleepy Watcher. I think it was Sleepy Watcher, right?
Love the ceasefire. If we bomb them again, it hurts them. If we cut a deal, kind of hurts them because they lose leverage and risk a revolution. Iran's frozen on a war footing, and it actually freezes the regime in power. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper was on the Hill today, and he says they've been using the ceasefire to go on a killing spree.
We saw them kill tens of thousands of their own people, and since the ceasefire, we've seen them hang dozens of people. Gotcha. Just yesterday, you saw the chief of police proudly announce that they arrested 6,500 Iranians for no reason.
Trump has to change the status quo. Iran's wounded, they're cornered, but they haven't surrendered. Meanwhile, costs are going up, and Iran's using the ceasefire to flex on CNN. These kiosks.
We got Mohammed jumping in on the chat saying, real evil, new Ayatollah, most dangerous than his T3 roarist father. Is that right? Is that right, Mohammed? Can you give us some reasons, Mohammed? Maddie would like to know. And where are you located? You don't have to give city, but kind of location, you know, maybe country if you like. But thank you for the chat. Very interested to know.
Have been set up in each of these sort of squares.
Yeah, the Wolf King saying Trump is a good president of the United States of America. Do y'all agree or disagree?
Where members of the military there, you can see them with masks on. They're showing people, in this case a woman, the basic.
And by the way, if you want, if I'm like reading something and you want me to read it, you can copy and paste that, but try not to spam the chat, y'all. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. I love you. The Lord loves you.
Skills of how to use what I think is an AK-47 or a Kalashnikov and things like that. Look over here. They're showing children how to use them as well. It's all part of a sort of state-sponsored call to arms in case the war begins again.
CNN's being used by the mullahs, and they don't seem to care. The network is not helping the United States.
It's all guns on state television too. It's several Iranian channels broadcasting their hosts brandishing.
Mohammed says, I am an Iranian living in Europe. All right. Good to know. And can you let us know the reason the new Ayatollah is so dangerous? So dangerous. And are you happy the first Ayatollah is away? Gone. Tara Matthews, how you doing? Good to see you. And also, is it a good thing that the United States has gone inside of Iran? From your personal standpoint, Mohammed, would like to know. Granted, because you are an Iranian. Thank you.
Assault rifle. They gave me a weapon so I could learn how to use it, like you, this anchor tells her viewers. After his on-air training, this presenter fires off a round into the studio ceiling.
What?
Iran doesn't look like they're ready to sign a treaty. They're trying to bait us into a
Edgar, how you doing, buddy? That is so wild. That dude just pulls a trigger inside of a studio, dude. Yeah, man, if it rains, you're going to have a leak right there.
Ground invasion and look tough domestically. It's their only play because their arsenal.
But the good part, you know where the leak is coming from. The most annoying part is when you're fixing a roof and you're like, I have no idea where the leak is coming from. You have a thermal camera up there. You have everything up there, dude. And you're like, oh my God. Oh, Sleepy Watcher dropping MYR 15. That's awesome, bro. I have no idea what MYR is, but saying, I hope there's a peace treaty soon. The gas price is killing me. Laugh out loud. Hope Israel and Iran doesn't strike anything out of the blue. Good luck, Trump. There you go. W's in the chat for Sleepy Watcher. W's in the chat. Veronica, get over here. Tell Sleepy Watcher how much you love Sleepy Watcher.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
There you go, buddy. Thank you so much for keeping us alive. Be like Sleepy Watcher. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Let's learn something.
Almost gone.
Operation Epic Fury significantly degraded Iran's ballistic missiles and drones while destroying 90% of their defense industrial base, ensuring that Iran cannot reconstitute for years. And then finally, Iran spent decades and billions of dollars arming proxies.
Septum vibes or no?
Today, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis are cut off from Iran's weapons supply and support.
The mullahs don't have the proxies or their sugar daddy. Xi's not so happy with the gay Ayatollah. He wants the straight open. But his boy Putin just landed in Beijing, and Pooty Poot's telling him, let's keep it closed. High oil prices are funding my war in Ukraine. The blockade's still undefeated. Overnight, an Iranian blockade runner known as the Skywave tried crossing the Indian Ocean. Ship was loaded back in February with over 1 million barrels of crude from Karg Island. Lloyd says Skywave was coming back from Asia. Unclear if they ever got a chance to unload. This is now the third runner that we've seized. And NATO's thinking about sending troops to Hormuz if the strait isn't opened by July 4th. Gas prices are putting pressure on the White House.
We are very aware that because of what's going on in the Middle East, gas prices have gone up and a lot of Americans are struggling because of that. Our view is that it is a temporary increase. We're taking a number of steps to try to push back against it and try to ensure that Americans are paying as little at the pump as possible. But I feel quite confident after we've taken care of business in the Middle East, those prices are going to come down.
How much pain can we tolerate? Trump said it had to be done and should have been done by Sleepy or Hussein.
If I left today, it would take them 25 years to rebuild.
Gap wins. How you doing, buddy? Good to see ya.
But we're not leaving. We're going to do it right so that in 5 years, 10 years, if you have a bad president who doesn't want to do what's right to do, this should have been done by Obama. This should have been done by Biden. It should have been done.
Should have been done by Biden. I think we've heard that before, right? Mohammed jumping back in on the chat, answering the questions, saying new Ayatollah has 14 mansions in Billionaire Row in London. One of his assets. All right. Does that mean he's corrupt or he's just a very intelligent entrepreneur? Thank you, Mohammed. And that's coming from Mohammed, who is an Iranian living in Europe. Thank you, Mohammed.
Done by other presidents long before me. And everybody agrees to that.
The president wants this to end with...
We got Barney Bell saying Iran teaches its people to hate the USA. Mohammed, since you're here, can you please specify whether this is accurate or inaccurate? Barney Bell says Iran teaches its people to hate the USA. And please, just by Barney making a statement, don't relay any hate towards him. He's just making a statement, and we're just trying to fact check this. So if you're still in the chat, Mohammed, please let us know.
With the Iranians crying uncle, but the Democrats say we should be the ones crying.
What's the plan now to actually win this war? Because it feels like we're losing. It doesn't seem to be going well, and I would like to know how many more Americans we have to ask to die for this mistake. Do you know?
I think it's an entire...
Hopefully 0 Americans have to die. We got Mojave Red saying Trump is killing it in the stock market. How? Yeah, is Trump getting some tips from Pelosi? Do you know how he is doing it? Because maybe you guys can help me with the stock market. That'd be great. Mohammed says mass illegal immigration as long as Iran regime exists.
entirely inappropriate statement from you, sir.
The president's giving diplomacy time. A lot of people feel like it's been too much time. Either way, the White House is committed to seeing this done.
I think a lot of Americans, especially in my generation, who are worried about forever endless.
Joe Adler jumping down the chat saying Trump is an embarrassment. Please let us know the reason you think he is an embarrassment. Enlighten us. Would like to know. Thank you, buddy, for the chat.
Conflicts, we have to remember, I think you said 11 weeks. A big chunk of that has been a ceasefire. This is not a forever war. We're going to take care of business and come home. That's what the president's promised, and that's exactly what he's going to deliver.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
There you go. Make sure you like and subscribe. This guy was so gnarly, dude. So gnarly. We got Rich Rag saying, you think fuel is expensive in the States? We in the UK, are being robbed on a daily basis by the prices of electricity, gas, and petrol. Our electricity prices are 6 times more than France, in second place. It could always be worse, y'all. It could always be worse. Just remember that. Absolutely, man.
Trying to bait us into a ground invasion and look tough domestic.
So what's going on over here? This is, you know, Xi Jinping hanging out with Trump, Mr. Trump, and then Xi Jinping hanging out with Putin. What's happening, man? Got a welcome ceremony? Same suit. I'm just joking. I don't know. Maybe similar color though. Thank you, Barney Bell. Always enjoy reading your messages. I hope what you saw was AI and they're not doing that stuff, man. War is never good, man. We got to bring each other together. Find a way to have peace, you know? Just appreciate everybody else's different foods, cultures, musics, languages, and jokes. Oh, here we go. Sorry, Mohammed, didn't see the chat. Mohammed says Iranian people hate terrorist regime and love America and President Trump. So if you're just joining right now, we got an Iranian living in Europe named Mohammed saying Iranian people hate terrorist regime and love America and President Trump. Which is very nice, very refreshing to hear. So, thank you, Mohammed. Appreciate it, buddy. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Siamese Stormtrooper jumping on the chat saying all the bots talking S-hit with no explanation are meant to solely sway your opinion by convincing you that liberals are not a political minority. Most liberals online are bots. Do you agree or disagree? And I've seen some stuff about that with the liberals just being bots and doing that type of stuff. Do you have any data to back that up? Because that would be hilarious to see on the live stream. Yeah, we got Lone Wolf and Cub saying, but Biden said the president doesn't control the stock market, but it's Trump now. He controls everything, right? Ernesto Suarez saying, I am being played by Muhammad. Am I? Do you have anything to back your statement? Would like to know. This short dude right here on the left, the second to the very left, that dude can fight. The short guys, you know.
Директор энергетики, помощник министра.
We got Jason Beatrice jumping on the chat saying, bro, Iranian immigrants in the U.S. are the best. They always bend in with our culture. None of them push Sharia law. And it makes this situation confusing. I don't know if you're throwing in sarcasm or if that's something, but I know Iranians who are very friendly, very, very friendly, and they are not pushing Sharia law. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. If anyone can support or dispute that claim, would be welcome. Thank you for the chat, Jason.
交通部部长、经济发展部部长、财政部部长、建设与住房公共事业部部长、高等教育科学部部长。上午。
Barney Bell W's in the chat for Barney Bell saying, I'm sorry, I need to be more kind and forgiving. You inspire people. Thanks. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. That's the goal. People are everything, bro. It's all about people. First about God, then your family, and then people. And absolutely, that makes me smile so much. Like, just to bring everybody together. Who cares? Left, right, this, that, whatever. Try to find truth. Try to make a better life. Developing the best chat in the world. Awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Let's learn something. Cap wins saying, but my Lockheed stock demands war. You're absolutely right. That's what that company is built for, unfortunately. Cap wins. Got a philosophical question for you. Imagine Lockheed Martin developed something else and it's completely away from war. Like, it cannot be used in any way as a war weapon or machine or anything. And they made twice as much money, but they only have one chance. You can either continue making war materials or go on the second route, which gives you twice as much money. Do you think Lockheed Martin would go the peaceful route, or would they go the current route? And the current route might be what they would suggest as peaceful, because they fight for peace, allegedly. they? The bass is actually someone pulling a trigger. Kick drum. There you go. We got Lone Wolf and Cub jumping on the chat saying, remember when Biden was found to have all those fake LLCs and his family was getting tons of cash from foreign countries? 10% for the big guy, huh? There you go. There you go. Oh, did we lose audio from Brave? Okay. Let's try this.
Thank you for...
Maybe it's just this thing. Yeah. Okay. No audio here. No audio. Just that stuff going on. Oh, there you go. Now the audio starts. We got Jim H jumping in on the chat saying the psychology behind MAGAs for Trump or Trumo is the need for conservative authorization and social dominance. Thank you for your chat, Jim H. Can you go into detail or give some example, please? Thank you, buddy. None of this martyrs says cults are exactly why we're in this mess. Can you explain yourself? What do you mean? Lone Wolf and Cub just throwing W's in the chat saying, remember when it was found that Nancy Pelosi is better in the stock market than even the lifelong stock traders? Oh, wait. Democrat voters do not care. Agree or disagree, chat? What do you think? There we go. We got Tara Matthews jumping on the chat saying, God, 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 God. I love him. There we go. And the Lord loves you. Thank the Lord. All right, y'all. Nature calls. I got to go to the bathroom, and then I got to do a little refill. So we're going to do a quick 5-minute stretch your legs, do what you got to do, and we will be right back shortly.
Code that they could use if you ever decided to come.
Thank you for your support. I love you.
But it's very possible that they do. And we're doing things to them. I told them we do a lot of stuff to you that you don't know about, and you're doing things to us that we probably do know about. But we do plenty. It's a double-edged sword.
So again, on President Xi, a couple of years ago when President Biden met him in San Francisco, he was asked if he thought President Xi was a dictator. Do you think President Xi is a dictator?
No, but I think that President Biden was an incompetent president. He gave us the Iran nuclear deal, which allowed Iran to have a nuclear weapon within a matter of years from the time they said, I terminated it. If I didn't terminate that, Iran would have a nuclear weapon, and they would have used it within probably...
Come on. Any Biden supporters in the chat, do you agree with this or disagree? We got a chat from Lone Wolf and Cub saying, don't forget Democrats giving $2 billion to Stacey Abrams for climate change. She's an expert in climate science because she is black. There you go. There you go. Did not know that. Thank you for the info.
Probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. If I didn't go in with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, Iran would have a nuclear weapon and nobody would be able to talk to them. By the way, they would have used it already.
But do you think President Xi is a dictator or not?
I don't think about it. Right. He's the ruler. He's the president of China. I don't think about it.
Look at this reporter just trying to get Trump into a little wormhole right there, trying to get him in trouble. Admirable? No, not too much. Not too much. You know, that's also the president of the United States. What about you? Try to develop questions that will help the United States, help your company, and help the future of the United States. Come on, buddy. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications.
You deal with what you have. I respect him. He's very smart. He loves his country. I respect him. Whether he's a dictator, that's for you to figure out. Yeah.
Mr. President, you said you didn't talk about tariffs, but did you talk about fentanyl at all?
I did. I talked about fentanyl. As you know, I put a tariff on because of fentanyl, and they discussed that. But I put a penalty.
Just to give you an update, as of mid-May 2026, Representative Pramila Jayapal has not been charged with treason, nor has she been convicted of any crime. She is facing intense political backlash and accusations from Republican critics, including Senator Ashley Moody. Got a moody woman right there, right? Or man, whatever. Regarding her admission that she spoke with foreign diplomats about aiding Cuba in obtaining oil despite U.S. sanctions, going behind United States just to aid Cuba. There you go. Now, is it for humanitarian efforts or for something else? We got Marita Suomi, loving the United States. Thank you for the chat. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
It's a penalty. A lot of money we take in because of that. I prefer not taking it, and I prefer that we don't have. But we did talk about fentanyl.
What kind of agreement did you come to?
Well, you know, the fentanyl is down, way down from where it was, and it could be because of the tariff penalty.
Sir, domestic issue, if I could. Where are you on the Texas Senate race?
Just to give you an idea, this is Ashley Moody right here. Young hero. There you go, girl. Go on and do your things.
So President Trump and his...
Oops. Where did we go? Where did we go?
Israelis have us in a death grip to keep going.
Wild. We're all over the place right now.
Well, I'll maybe make a decision. I know them both very well.
We got an update. Trump was never charged nor prosecuted for that RA thing.
I like them both a lot, and you know, my record of endorsements is extraordinary. You look at what happened with Indiana, and out of all those races, the one that won was there were 3 Trump people in the race. If they had won, he would have won in a landslide. But I took out all of these candidates, and you know, long-time candidates with big leads against people.
Gator Chris jumping in on the chat saying innocent until proven guilty.
That never ran before, and the people that never ran before won virtually all the races. And as you know, 2 nights ago I won every single endorsement. A week ago before that I won every single endorsement. There's never been a record of endorsements like this, which is a great honor as far as I'm concerned.
But you might
know, MAGA is a movement the likes of which our country has never seen before.
But you might not endorse, sir.
Do you guys agree with MAGA? Make America Great Again? What a movement, right? We got a message from Siamese Stormtrooper saying Israelis have us in a death grip. That's why we got them to agree to a ceasefire when they wanted to keep bombing. Try paying attention. We got Jason Beatrice in the chat saying MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. There you go.
Texas.
I don't want to say that. I mean, I'm looking at it very strong. I like them both. I mean, I'll tell you what I do think. I think the Democrats have a weird candidate. 6 genders. A real hit on Jesus. I mean, this guy is bad news with his mask from relatively recently. And he's a vegan. All of a sudden, he's not a vegan. He was a vegan. Now, all of a sudden, he's not. Texas doesn't like vegans. I do believe either one of them will easily win the race. I think that the candidate the Democrats have in Texas is a very flawed, very weak, I think he's a pathetic candidate, especially for Texas. Okay?
Did you see Secretary Rubio in the briefing room the other day, and what did you think?
Are you talking about his outfit?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought he looked very good in the outfit. I don't know if I'd do it, but I thought he looked very good. I think he's outstanding. I thought he was great. I mean, I saw every word of it. I thought he was.
Mr. President, back to what you were saying before about the enriched uranium at Isfahan. So, what your...
All right, so here we go. He's talking about Tallarico, Mr. Tallarico. This guy right here, James Tallarico. All right, vegan. Good to know, good to know.
Logic be in having just a 20-year deal? I mean, the deal that you pulled back was 15 years.
Oh, Jesus. Hanta in Hebrew means scam. There you go. Interesting.
Whether they would have gotten it faster or not is up to you, but what would the difference be here if
Well, Obama had virtually no deal. Obama had a road to a nuclear weapon, and I terminated that deal. And if I didn't terminate Barack Hussein Obama, if I didn't terminate that deal, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon 2 years ago. As you know, that deal long expired.
So allegedly, in Hebrew, the word hanta means she parked. It's a third person feminine in the singular past tense for a vehicle.
You're doing it, and after your bombing, then
You know what? I'll tell you what. I know you backed Obama, which shows what a fraud you are, because that was the worst deal. They would have had a nuclear weapon within a period of a year and a half after I terminated it. If I didn't terminate that, and if I didn't send the B-2 bombers in 9 months ago to obliterate, you know, one thing that did happen, which was very nice, the top person in Iran representing them was the top person. He said, I'm the only one, meaning the United States is the only one, along with possibly China, that would be able to get the nuclear dust out of that disaster that we created with the B-2 bomber.
Are you willing to do that? And why do you call
Yeah, no, at the right time, we'll either go in or we'll get it. I think we'll probably get it. But if we don't get it, we'll go in.
But you're willing to mount the operation to take
No,
it
I think they'll be totally defeated. And
oh my goodness, W's. Complete W's in the chat for Jason and Beatrice. I saw that, buddy. I saw that. There you go. Where are you, Veronica? Come on.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Go on and do your push-ups, girl. That's amazing, amazing. Enjoy your life. Thank you so much for the support, Jason Beatrice. W's in the chat for Jason Beatrice. Keeping this show alive. I love you. The Lord loves you. Everybody loves you. Jason Beatrice, you got to send me something in Discord so we can start communicating if you're not there already. All right, so this is not too much communicating going on over here, which is cool. Like very, very cool visuals. I give it to them for that, definitely. But hunger deepens in Gaza, which is very sad, very, very sad. And I hope that stops. Let's see what's going on over here.
In Gaza, hunger now has a sound. It echoes through empty cooking pots, carried by children who no longer ask for toys or school books.
No more toys or school bucks. What do they want? They want to cure their hungry bellies, I'm guessing, right? Aziz Hussein says it is horrible. My goodness. Has anyone in the chat ever been hungry? That's a horrible feeling. At a nutritional deficit, a caloric deficit, what a bad feeling.
But for food. Inside this overcrowded shelter, displaced families say the hot meals they once depended on are disappearing. For many here, 8 kitchens had become the last dependable source of food in a place where hunger spreads faster than anything else.
1 million. Reach 1 million.
Until recently, the World Central Kitchen said it was serving nearly 1 million meals daily across Gaza. But funding shortages, border closures and the lack of supplies forced a major reduction in operations, cutting the number of meals to only a few 100,000 a day.
We urge
And just got to read Jason Beatrice's chat. It says, Democrats in Congress are garbage. Chat, do you agree or disagree with the great Jason Beatrice?
The World Central Kitchen to restart the distribution of hot meals. The meals provided by the organization are our only source of survival. We are currently staying in a school being used as a shelter, and all we ask for is access to food once again. There is no gas, no firewood, nothing at all. Prices are unbearably high. How are we supposed to survive?
Every morning, people gather here carrying empty containers and fading hope. They wait for hours in the heat, hoping food may still arrive. But many leave exactly as they came, empty-handed. Kitchen workers say the crisis is worsening by the day.
This soup kitchen serves hot meals to nearly 200 families. We had appealed to the World Central Kitchen to increase the number of meal pots provided to us.
Lord Alcatraz, how you doing, buddy?
However, unexpectedly, the organization stopped delivering meals to the camp 2 days ago without offering any explanation. Today, people arrived here desperately hoping to find food. They have no income, no employment opportunities, and no way to support themselves.
World Central Kitchen did not...
We got the Chad USA saying, I went 23 days without eating once because an illness. Not a fun feeling. Oh, man. Horrible, buddy. But it seems like you're better, so I'm happy that you are.
Allow Al Jazeera to film inside its facilities.
We got Tara Matthews saying, I agree with Jason Beatrice. The Democrats in Congress are horrible.
As humanitarian organizations continue operating under mounting Israeli pressure and severe shortages. But outside, the consequences are impossible to hide. Children wander through the streets carrying empty pots, repeating the same cry heard across Gaza's many displacement camps. Others search through piles of garbage, hoping to find something edible. In Gaza, hunger is no longer a distant threat. It's now part of daily life for families already exhausted by war, displacement and loss. Behind me, displaced Palestinians in these tent camps say meals are provided.
Sleepy Watcher jumping in on the chat saying, when I was 10-something, I first came to know the Gazan situation. I'm 45 now, still the same, even worse. Sad, right? Absolutely horrible. So that means 35 years of a situation similar to this happening. Not good. And we got Mohammed Ahmadi saying they don't look like hungry people.
Provided by the World Central Kitchen had become the main source of survival. But after the organization sharply reduced hot meal distributions across Gaza with mounting shortages, many displaced Palestinians.
We got Aziz Hussein saying both parties are weak and have no accountability, period. Agree or disagree with that statement. We're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Thank you so much.
Here say they are struggling to find food each day. Tariq Abu Azzoum, Al Jazeera, Dir al-Balah, Palestine.
Sounds like he can speak more than one language, right? There you go. We've got none other than one of the sweetest ladies on earth in the eyes of Donald Trump. Who might that be? Oh, the First Lady, Melania. What's she going to say? She's publicly announcing House passage of the Fostering the Future Act. Lord Alcatraz, happy to know you're doing pretty good.
On this beautiful evening, I have a breaking news. Today, the House passed the Fostering the Future Act. Thank you, Chairman Smith, Chairman LaHood, Ranking Member Davis, and the House of Representatives for voting unanimously to lift America's foster children above partisan politics. Senators, we have momentum. Now it's your turn to bring the fostering the future.
And Jason Beatrice jumping in on the chat saying, notice the tents. There's no houses there. They stay there. They can leave. They stay there because they are stubborn. The people in Gaza are there in protest. Man, oh man. Tough, tough. And just how passionate do you have to be to actually go against the IDF and just stay there and protest? So wild.
Act across the finish line. Let's support our next generation and swiftly get this to the President for his signature. The White House Congressional picnic has been cherished American tradition for a great part of our nation's 250-year history.
Yeah, Tara, she is beautiful.
Beyond politics, it provides an important social ritual where our nation's leaders share a moment of lightheartedness as we transition into the warm summer months. This evening's beautiful setting brings families from both sides of the political aisle together to enjoy Americana, the Marine Band's wonderful music, great food, and
Diane Trim showing some love to the United States. There you go. Thank you so much.
some friendly gaming competition. This great American social tradition reminds us that some fun and laughter with our families can bring unity, especially with our children and loved ones by our side. I have seen firsthand how much can be accomplished when Republicans and Democrats come to.
Aziz Husani says Melania is con artist, just like her husband. What do you mean by she's a con artist? Do you have any reason to say that? Do you have any situations she's been in where she has conned somebody? Please let us know. We'd like to know.
Together with a shared purpose, particularly for the betterment of our children. We experienced great bipartisan success with the Take It Down Act. I saw the spirit of American unity shine once again during my recent engagement with the House Ways and Means Committee as we began to shape legislation to protect America's foster care community. Young Americans deserve every opportunity to learn.
Oh, we got to answer for Jason Beatrice. Yes, James Tallarico is a dude. The controversy isn't whether he is a man, it's that he talked about inter S3X biology, and critics turned that into culture war confetti. There you go. Thank you so much for asking that question, Jason Beatrice.
Learn, grow, and succeed. And I believe we will continue making meaningful progress on their behalf. Make the most of this evening so that we can be impactful together with greater alignment in the future.
Ah, what a beautiful picture. Trump looking so proud next to his woman, right? Do y'all support this power couple here, or not so much?
And now it's my pleasure to introduce my husband, President Donald J. Trump.
Oh, so sweet. They had a little smooch at the end and a little smile. Oh, that's so nice. So nice. Yes, Matthew Gardner supporting. There you go. Lynn saying, I support Jesus Christ. There you go. There you go. Well done. Well said.
Well, I mean, I think when...
All right, so J.D. Vance calls Iran a fractured country in need of saving. All right, J.D., teach us something, buddy.
When the Pope issues an encyclical on artificial intelligence, it's going to have some influence. I, of course, don't know how much influence. I don't know exactly.
When he offers a what? A encyclical. Define encyclical. intended for general or wide circulation. Okay. Well, I mean, when the Pope issues an encyclical on artificial intelligence for wide circulation. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think when the Pope issues an encyclical on artificial intelligence, it's going to have some influence. I, of course, don't know how much influence. I don't know exactly what it's going to say. But I think when the leader of the world's largest Christian denomination speaks on an issue like that, it's certainly going to have some influence. And I'm sure it'll contain a lot of insights, some of which I'll probably agree with, some of which I may not. But I think that it's going to be a very, very important document. And I think that, one of the things I always found fascinating about Pope Leo is that he chose the name Leo XIV, which of course is recollecting Leo XIII. Leo XIII was the Pope during a period of incredible industrial transformation in the entire world. Of course, that industrial transformation, according to a lot of people, led to the rise of fascism and communism in Europe. I think it was interesting that Leo XIV chose that name to maybe apply Christian social teaching in a new era with a new technological innovation in the same way that the Industrial Revolution was the technological innovation of its time. So I think it'll be fascinating. I'm looking forward to reading it. My guess is it's going to have a lot of influence.
JLand7300 throwing some shots at the channel, saying this seems to be a pro P3D channel. Disgusting. Please let us know what you're talking about, JLand7300. Not necessarily the nicest thing to say, not necessarily the thing you would want to say to make some new friends, but there you go, trying to get some shock factor in the chat. Please give us some examples.
It's on the question of what our policy is going to be. Look, what we're trying to do in the
And by the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
Trump administration is very simple. The president wants us to be pro-innovation.
As we should be. Pro-innovation is absolutely important for the United States.
He wants us to win the AI race against all other countries in the world. He recognizes that AI is going to be an important tool, not just for our economy, but for our military. And so he wants to ensure that we are winning that particular race. We also want to make sure that we're protecting people. We're protecting people's data. We're protecting people's privacy. I think with this Mythos release, one of the things that we're very focused on, of course, is whether not necessarily the developers of Mythos, but whether some other bad actor could use Mythos to target various cybersecurity vulnerabilities. So it's something that we're working in a collaborative way with the technology companies, and we're just trying to make sure that the American people are as safe as possible. I'm not going to get ahead of the executive order.
Chad USA says AI needs to be handled very carefully, very carefully. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Do you guys agree with the Chad USA?
Or any other actions that are going to come out, but we're trying to balance those two things. We want to be pro-innovation. We recognize, artificial intelligence could be great. It could help us find cures to diseases that currently, people are dying from or suffering from. It also does have some downsides, and we're trying to balance that safety against innovation, and we think that we've got the right balance here in the Trump administration, but it's something we're going to have to keep on working on, because that's just the nature of these technologies is they certainly change.
There you go. There you go.
We also want to...
J.D. Vance himself, right? So we got a reaction from Keisha Lance Bottoms. All right. All right. Let's see what's happening over here.
Right now, folks, we're still waiting on the results from Fulton County.
The county extended polling hours at 2 precincts until 11:02 tonight and said it would not release the remainder, wouldn't release any of the results really until that time.
Yeah, Rebecca Lindstrom standing by trying to get those results so we can get them to you. But for right now, 11 Eye Shore Preheim is live at the Hyatt Regency in Atlanta and downtown on Peachtree Road. Keisha Lance Bottoms spoke just moments ago. So, Cheryl, what is the reaction in the room tonight?
Big energy, Ron.
Big energy. That's right. Sleepy Watcher says, I kind of like AI. We just need to be careful. AI is already here, whether we like it or not. Absolutely, we need to adapt. Make the best of it.
Celebration and Keisha.
What do you think, chat? Agree or disagree with Sleepy Watcher?
Lance Bottoms saying tonight, let's celebrate just for a little bit because the work has to start immediately.
What's going on? What's going on with this music over here, man? She's trying to... Oh, she's... Okay.
quietly. She just left the stage a little bit ago, but people are lingering, the music's still on, and the celebration continues. This team had one goal tonight, to make it out of this primary without a runoff, and that is what happened. Perhaps with a bigger margin than they were even expecting. So many undecided voters. What would happen on this election day? Well, what happened is an outright win, and she becomes the Democratic gubernatorial nominee.
Bill Williston, how you doing, buddy? Good morning, good morning. Good to see you again, man. How you doing? Everybody say hi to Mr. Bill Williston. Good to see you, buddy.
For governor, and she has 4 weeks now where she can focus her time, attention, and money on her message to that point against her challengers, as her Republican counterparts have to battle it out in a runoff. And her team tells me that is an advantage she will hold on to tightly, and she is focused on messages about affordability.
The Chat USA says, if she wins Georgia, my state is in trouble. Or does GA stand for something else? Do you agree or disagree with the Chat USA?
Affordability, about health care, about expanding Medicare, expanding education. She says Georgia has a surplus. Yes, tax breaks should be part of the picture, but so too should be funding things that help everyday Georgians. She says Trump policies are hurting Georgians, and she is ready to help them. That's the message from the podium tonight as she wins this primary outright, which was her goal. Reporting in Atlanta, Cheryl Preheim, 11 Live News.
All right, Cheryl, thanks a lot. It's going to be a very
nice to see a natural looking woman again. You know, always happy to see that. When a woman looks like a woman, that is absolutely brilliant. Senator Bill Cassidy. Shall we? Absolutely, we shall.
The 503.
Bill Williston says June is going to get rough. Head on a swivel. Trouble coming. Well, you know, be optimistic. Be smart, man. Do what you can. Do what you can. There you go. Sachi saying, who looked like a woman? That lady that we just watched. And this lady on the right looks like a woman. And that person on the left looks like a man. There we go. W's in the chat for people who look like you're not confused when you look at them. You know, just easily to understand what's going on, from which perspective we're hearing news.
Senator Bill Cassidy breaking with President Donald Trump on more than just spending issues.
Yeah, the outgoing Louisiana Republican, he flipped last night on the ongoing Iran war, siding with Democrats here to limit the president's war powers with Iran. Mike McDaniel standing us by.
We got Wolvie Raza saying S3Xism is beyond gross. Grow up. F nuts. What do you mean? What do you mean? Please let me know what you mean. Give me some examples. Would like to know more. Thank you for your chat. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat, teach me something.
By now to walk us through this late-breaking development, which is interesting, Mike, because Cassidy previously voted no on this.
Yeah, an about-face for sure, and a lot to get to. Good morning. Senator Bill Cassidy making it clear he plans to stay outspoken during his final months in office, even if that means repeatedly breaking with President Donald Trump. Just days after losing that Senate primary, Cassidy joined...
Sleepy Watcher jumping on the chat saying, I do agree having a female president is not a bad idea. We all need some motherly love. Yeah, the best love in the world is a love from a mother. Imagine a beautiful, good-looking female president. Oh my goodness, a smart, strong woman. That would be great. That would be absolutely great.
Democrats and 3 other Republicans in voting to advance a resolution that would limit presidential war powers involving Iran. Well, the measure would require...
Wolvie Raza says, looks like a woman, you moron. Lol. There you go. There you go. How can I be less of a moron? Do you have any idea on how I can be less of a moron? Thank you for your chat, buddy.
Require congressional approval before prolonged U.S. military involvement against Iran. It does mark the first time Cassidy has supported advancing a war powers resolution. And at the same time, Cassidy is also criticizing some of Trump's spending priorities, including a proposed
We got Matthew Gardner jumping on the chat saying, having a female president will make our country look weak. Do you agree or disagree with that, chat? Well, what about the German female president? She was pretty strong lady. I think she was well respected, or what do you think? Possibly. Matthew Gardner saying no other countries will respect us for having a female president. Okay.
$1 billion White House ballroom project. Cassidy called that proposal a spit-in-the-eye insult to Louisiana.
Len H. says, no woman in my church wears makeup, 100% natural. Women who wear makeup tells me they're not confident. There you go. Some women are just so beautiful naturally, they don't even need makeup. Well said.
Taxpayers saying families are more worried about gas prices, groceries, and healthcare costs. He also opposes a nearly $2
female Republican president, maybe. Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. Gator Chris has jumped in on the chat.
$1 billion settlement tied to Trump's lawsuit against the
I can't read that comment, Bill, but I know what you're saying, buddy. That's a good joke.
IRS. That settlement now establishes an anti-weaponization fund to compensate those who claim they were illegally targeted by the Biden administration.
It's as if somebody sued themselves, agreed upon a settlement with themselves, and that's going to be funded by the rest of us. There is no legal precedent for this. And so going back to the family struggling, if we say we're going to put $1.7 billion because some people sued themselves and they settled with themselves, but we got the bill.
Oh, to go back to is Trump policy hurting Georgia? So in parts, yeah. Tariffs may help one steel shop on camera, but they can hit farmers, ports, retailers, car imports, and family prices off of camera. Georgia is a trade and logistics state, so when Washington starts a trade war, Georgia feels the bruise. There you go. Always trying to find the truth. We're going live every single day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
I can tell you, the voter doesn't like that. Or if they like it, maybe they're in on it. I'm not in on it. I'm going to oppose it.
Henry Rollins. Man, that guy is aggressive, bro. What a man. What a man. There you go. Yeah, Bill's just having some fun in the chat. Come on, y'all.
And despite those disagreements, Cassidy says he is willing to remain a workable person on Congress, whether that's with Republicans, Democrats, even Trump himself, if it benefits Louisiana. When asked whether he plans to run for Congress, but perhaps under those new congressional maps, or maybe governor down the line, Senator Cassidy said, quote, absolutely not. Brandon?
There you go. Absolutely not.
Fun.
Absolutely not. That dude, someone said, looks like Henry Rollins.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, May 20th. I'm getting ready to head out to the studio for GMK at 7. So let's get you
GMK at 7. So this is Trump-backed candidates pull off the sweep in Kentucky to lead the headlines.
Up to date with your starter for the morning. We've got all your primary election results,
Matthew
including
Gardner.
those big races where we saw a Trump sweep last night. Andy Barr.
Oh, we got an update by Jason Beatrice. Clay Fuller, Republican, took the seat in Georgia. There you go.
Ed Gallrein, both Trump.
W for Clay Fuller.
Trump-endorsed nominees defeated their rivals in their primaries. Daniel Cameron loses to Barr, and the incumbent, Thomas Massie, loses to Ed Gallrein in the most expensive congressional race.
Oh, Massie. Massie, come on. All right.
In U.S. history. Plus, it is day 2 of the NTSB hearings in Washington, D.C. regarding that deadly UPS plane
Hey, Massie, the Chat USA said, bye-bye, Massie.
crash. We'll have details from day 1 and a look at the new Camp Taylor Water Park, opening up 7 years after the old Camp Taylor pool closed down because of budget reasons. Plus, Matt is also watching a lot of rain moving into our area, maybe a bit of a washout today. We'll get you all.
Uh-oh. Stay warm, stay dry, y'all. Stay warm and dry. So some investigators are probing the San Diego hooting. All right. Man. What's going on these days?
A community coming together in grief at a vigil for 3 people killed in the attack at the Islamic Center of San Diego.
The hate behind this violence is wrong.
As we learn new details about the 17 and 18-year-olds identified as the shooters. Sources say last year, police in nearby Chula Vista made contact with Caleb Vasquez, then a juvenile, after someone who knew him raised concerns he was interested in extremist ideology.
Man, whenever you like stop somebody and they're like, oh, this guy could be an extremist, you got to keep your eye on that dude. Do your job, man. Make sure he doesn't hurt anybody or her.
And mass casualty attacks. An officer reviewed Vasquez's social media accounts, allegedly finding neo-Nazi rhetoric. But
Siamese jumping on the chat saying, Massie didn't lasty.
But sources say the concerns did not rise to the level of an arrest. It's unclear whether there was any follow-up. Investigators say the 2 teens arrived at the mosque Monday wearing body armor and camouflage, armed with shotguns, rifles, and handguns, and ran past security guard Amin Abdullah, who exchanged gunfire with the teens before being fatally wounded. The gunman making it into the building, coming within 15 feet of the children at the Islamic Center school. But officials say they turned back to the parking lot to shoot 2 other men, Mansour Kaziha, who ran a shop at the mosque, and Nadir Awad, whose wife teaches at
The Chad USA says, notice they're not saying the race. Do you guys know the race of these people?
the school.
I felt a bit scared. My legs were shaking in my hands.
Police believe approaching sirens caused the suspects to...
Well, who would be like the type of person that would do this to a mosque? Good question.
Speed off in their car, firing at a landscaper nearby, before sources say one teen apparently killed his accomplice before turning the gun on himself. The FBI says the 2 teens met online, were radicalized together, and shared what agents call a broad hatred of different races and religions.
There we go. Sleepy Watcher says, condolences to the victims. Absolutely. Absolutely. May their souls rest in peace, being taken away much too early for probably some stupid, irrelevant reason. But the Lord sees, the Lord knows.
And anger over being rejected by women. Back in San Diego, the focus is on the lives lost. The daughter of security guard Amin Abdullah, who sacrificed his life to protect the kids in that school, remembered her father.
Who cares, man, being rejected by women? Try again. Don't give up. Go find a good woman in your life, man. That woman rejects you, just both are not compatible. You know, don't give up. Come on, what are you doing with yourself, man? Come on.
Against any form of hate. He took his job seriously to protect.
Oh, they were also Muslim. Oh, Matthew Garner jumping in on the chat. Goodness gracious. Saying that 2 18-year-old teenagers that did that to the mosque were also Muslim.
Everyone here. He would want our community to stand together as one. That's exactly what he would want.
Investigators say they've now seized more than 30 firearms from 2 homes connected to the teen attackers. Parking lot.
So sad. Just so sad. All right. So a last name like Vasquez may suggest Hispanic heritage, but that is not proof of race, ethnicity, or motive or identity. Same with the photos for live stream accuracy. Don't say they were white, Hispanic, biracial, unless police or credible records confirm it. Investigators are looking at anti-Muslim hate and I guess we cannot guess the race, but we can follow the evidence. So we'll see. I don't know. My sources could be inaccurate as well.
This
Bob
is the
Harvey.
first district.
And Bob Brooks win races in 2026 Pennsylvania primary.
Here, that's Bucks County.
CBS News projects.
In parts of Montgomery County, Bob Harvey will run against Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick in November. Harvey getting 64.
The Chad USA said it said they hated multiple religions. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you got to figure out the reason you hate people. You shouldn't hate anyone, honestly. Try not to. Obviously, there's evil people in the world, but try not to. And we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
4% of the vote here. Now let's go to the Lehigh Valley, U.S. House District 7, another race we were watching closely here. It also covers Carbon, Lehigh, and Northampton counties, and you can see there Bob Brooks there with a convincing win, 41% of the vote. He will go up against GOP Congressman Ryan McKenzie in the fall. Our primary election night coverage does continue for you. Coming up later in the newscast, it's also primary day in 5.
All right, that's good. Assumptions, I guess, right? So Vance is backing Trump's endorsement. All right.
Today we saw the president endorse Ken Paxton over John Cornyn in the Texas Senate
Matthew Gardner saying they were Arabic. All right, cool.
race. Do you think that
Unfortunate, but
that sends a message going forward for the next cycle to senators, considering running for re-election, or any MAGA-aligned potential candidates that are considering challenging them?
Well, I'd say a couple.
we got Sunshine saying, guess what? Republican people are turning on Trump and booing him. We got Jason Beatrice in a response saying, Sunshine, UK citizens were chanting Trump, 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 Trump. There you go.
Couple things, Nick. First of all, I think the president's very gratified by the response that he's heard from the base and from a lot of voters, I think, who are passionate about Ken Paxton. We think Ken Paxton is going to be a great senator for the people.
Great senator. Absolutely. We got Matthew Gardner saying, I dislike all the crazy liberals. What do you dislike about those crazy liberals? I think a lot of people would agree with you, actually.
Of Texas, but most importantly, a great United States senator who can work on solving the problems that all of us confront as a country together.
We got Corey Hershey jumping on the chat saying, thank God for Trump. He's the greatest thing ever to happen to this country. He exposed all the
I've known John Cornyn for a long
Thank you for the chat, buddy. Do you guys agree?
Long time. But unfortunately, when it really counted, Ken Paxton was there for the country, was there for the president, and that's why he ultimately earned the president's endorsement. He thinks he's going to be a better senator, thinks he's going to make a better.
Lynn H called for it. Lynn H dislikes the septum rings. There you go. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member. If you're a member, you get to use all those emojis. And throw in a super chat if you want. We're going live every day of 2026, bringing you the good news, trying to bring all of us together, and having the best and smartest and most amazing chat in the world right here.
Candidate. And so I do think it sends a message, but really not just the endorsement, but one of the things the president has done very effectively, going back 10 years in his leadership of the Republican Party and the country as president of the United States, is he said, I want people who fight for the good. I want people who can't be bought by corporate lobbyists, who can't be bought by Wall Street, who can't be bought by special interests, who are going to go to Washington and fight for the people who actually elected them to those positions. And I think one of the things we've seen in the Republican Party, while I can't say that all of our representatives are.
Yeah, Sleepy Watcher says, hatred is like a seed of virus. It spreads when people are emotional and lost. That's 100% accurate. Hatred has no reason if you ask anyone in anger full of hatred. Even the words coming out have no reason. Trust me. Absolutely. That's the reason people should not be lost and try to control their emotions. Do you agree, chat?
Are perfect or all of our senators are perfect, we have seen a much better crop of talent come into Washington since Donald Trump has been the leader of the party and the leader of the movement. I do think we're going to continue to see that happening. But I think the message that people should take from this is fundamentally, you have got to serve the people who sent you. And if you don't do that, you're going to find yourself out of step with voters or out of step with the president of the United States. And that's not a good place to be politically.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, not a good place to be politically. Jason and Tara. Jason and Tara. There you go. All right, are we going to get some dialogue from Putin and Xi right now? Give me some dialogue. Mr. Xi Jinping, my dear friend, coming from Putin. There you go. One truth. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. It is fitting to quote a Chinese proverb, as far as we know. There is a saying in China that goes, "We haven't seen each other for a day." Yet it feels as if 3 autumns have passed. We are truly delighted to see you. We keep in constant touch, both personally and through our aides in the government. What an eloquent speaker this man is, right? Or speech reader. What is my Discord address? Oh, it's on my website. Or on my YouTube homepage. I'll drop it in the chat. President Xi Jinping steadfastly promoting the long-term, stable, sound, and high-quality development of China-Russia relations is a strategic choice jointly made by me and President Putin with a view to the fundamental interests of both countries and the broader trend of global development. There you go. Plenty of respect from both sides. Very, very nice. All right, so Massie is out. Trump wins in Kentucky. Ah, sweet, sweet Kentucky.
President Trump claimed another Republican primary win, this time ending the career of 7-term Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Gallrein in Tel Aviv.
So what's the reason so many people hate Massie? Like, is there like an actual reason? What do you guys think, chat?
His hand-picked candidate, former Navy SEAL Ed Gallrein, will take the seat next year.
I want to thank President Trump for his support. Now my focus is on advancing the president's and the party's agenda to put America first and Kentucky always.
Trump had opposed Massie because Massie voted against his $3.4 trillion Big Beautiful Bill. Massie didn't like the cost of those tax cuts and spending increases.
Barney Bell asking a good question, saying, I'm back. Hey, do you think with more eyes on the election process will slow down the cheating? If so, we will have a red wave. Go on, get out and vote. There you go, buddy. Way to hype the people up. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. Become a member. Throw in a super chat. We got Sleepy Watcher saying it's an ancient proverb, means one day without seeing each other, another, but it feels like 3 autumn pass. If you tell that to someone, means you really know each another like best buddy. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's a very warm and kind thing to say to a person.
Massie also opposed the war in Iran, Trump's tariffs, and perhaps...
I can't say that, Ariana, but maybe.
Most personally, Massie led the charge to enact legislation forcing the release of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, an issue that Trump had initially dismissed as a hoax.
Thomas Massie's a terrible congressman. He's been a terrible congressman from day one. Dealing with him is just horrible. I don't think he's a Republican. I think he's actually a Democrat.
Massie fought back, assembling a coalition of young people opposed to the war in Iran, libertarians, fiscal conservatives, Make America Healthy Again moms, small farmers. But in the end, it wasn't enough. He faced an onslaught of $19 million in advertising, most of it courtesy of hawkish pro-Israel groups. In the end, it was the most expensive House primary in American history. But this may not be the final word, as Massie addressed a crowd of his adoring supporters who cheered 2020.
Massie.
28 and Massie for president. Massie said, "I started running a campaign and we have ended up with a movement."
You are patriots, and you will inherit this country, and you will make it better. And I am hopeful because of that. Thank you.
And Massie, Jason Beatrice says, bye-bye, Massie. Bye-bye. Forget oil. Iran may have found the what? The what? Oh, my. Oh, my, oh, my.
The IRGC just made a request on a topic that nobody was thinking about in the Strait of Hormuz, because everybody's Strait of Hormuz, all they're thinking about is ships coming through. $2 million is what they want, but here's what they asked. 97+% of the internet you and I use is from underwater cables, not satellites. We think it's satellites or we think these cables outside. It's 97%.
97%? What is that? Fiber optic underwater cables? All right.
Submarine cables, and guess how much cables are underwater? 750,000 miles. And by the way, do you know how much each mile costs to put down there? 400,000, upwards of $1.5 million. This is trillion plus to build all these cables. And the reason why Iran figured this part out is the following. They're sitting here saying, wait a minute, these cables are not only going through Strait of Hormuz, a couple of the points are in Iran. So if you want to come through and build something in Strait of Hormuz, you got to come through us, because if you don't, we could potentially do what? Anything. We're going to get into that. Now watch this. You know what country?
Stop the internet? What's going on?
Started shivering when this announcement was made? This country called India with 1.4 billion people. Why? Because 60% of all the power for cables that India gets, it goes through Mumbai. Do you know what would happen if these guys all of a sudden said, no problem, we're gonna drop mines on these cables and destroy the cables? Some countries could lose internet for weeks to months, and the world finally realized maybe Iranians are not asking about terrorists and stuff like that. They actually are starting to realize they want control and influence. We're gonna talk about all these topics today.
Wild. Oh my goodness.
So if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And we are getting very close to 10 million subs. We're at 7 million, 3 million away to the 51% of you that watch.
Yeah, shout out to Valuetainment right here. Valuetainment, 7.17 million subscribers. There you go, buddy.
Watch the content and never subscribe to the channel. Click on our link below. It'll mean a lot to us if you can subscribe to Value.
Speaking of, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat.
Tim, and having said that, let's get right into it. So, 750,000 of undersea cables across the world's ocean. 750,000, yes. Each mile costs 400,000 to $1.5 million, yes. A single transoceanic cable system can cost between $300 million to $1 billion to deploy. This is what they look like, just so you know. The cable looks like this. So you're looking at the saying, okay, how big is it? This is what they do when they go underwater. You may think this is just one cable. It's not. It's multiple cables that are within it that they're building. Then on top of that, they go on these ships that look like this. In the middle, they just drop the cable. So think about in the bottom, just cable keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. But as we get deeper, you'll realize $10 trillion every day, financial transactions happen due to what? Due to these submarine cables that we have. $10 trillion of transactions that happen because of these. And these cables have historically been
do these cables just lay at the bottom of the ocean? Like, do they sink all the way down, or are they kind of hovering somewhere in the middle of the ocean?
Built, maintained by state-owned telecom companies or international consortia. So it's kind of like, hey, let's work together. You need us, we need you, we're capitalists. You're the state, you're the government. Can we figure out, you need internet, we'll give it to you, but let's do business together, no problem. So modern shift to hyperscalers like Google, Meta, Microsoft, developing their own cable networks, have learned they need to work with different countries. But for the most part, most countries are reasonable. Yeah, we want to work with you. So then when you look at cables versus satellite.
Yeah, so how you doing, half hungry person? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so a lot of people in the chat are saying they just lie at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, if they do that, it's gonna require a lot more cable, but it's probably safer. So they are glass fiber strands inside protective layers. The cable is heavy enough to sink. Floating would be dangerous because ships, storms, currents, whales, fishing gear, and anchors would destroy it. So the goal is to drop it, sink it, protect it. All right, the internet is not in the cloud. It is mostly glass spaghetti lying on the bottom of the ocean, carrying your memes at the speed of light. You guys are right. All the way down.
Like Starlink can connect remote areas, but cannot match the high bandwidth and the low latency of undersea fiber optics. Undersea cables are immune to weather. Satellites are susceptible to solar damage and weather interference. You will hear when we talk about different events that's happened before.
Ooh, very interesting. Barney Bell jumping on the chat saying, I heard Massie was a high-tech guy, very smart. I think he sold Trump out for a very high-paying job. Let's see who he starts working for. There you go. There you go. He said he started a movement, so we'll see what type of movement he's talking about.
Have people attacked it? Have people stolen cables? Have people found ways with anchors to destroy this? How does China do it? How does Russia do it? Because they actually know how to. It's a very interesting way China attacks these things. Now, vulnerabilities. Cables are designed to be durable, but they are still soft targets in international waters that they could be affected by. In areas like the Strait of Hormuz, water is shallow and cables are open to accidental damage anchors. So, hey, you know what? What am I doing? Hey, drop all the anchor. What do you want to do with the anchor? I just hit a cable, pull it up, boom, you just tore one. Oh, shoot. 2 weeks of outage for internet. And it's happened before, right? Severed cables require specialized repair ships, and the process can take weeks. So this isn't like you're calling AAA for a car to come in and change your tire. That's not what this is. This is a longer process. So this is nearly impossible in an active war zone like the one we are currently in. Now, let's look at a completely different area. Iran's new threat, which what I was talking about. 3 requests they're making. Before going into the request, the Strait of Hormuz choke point, for more than just oil, 21% of global petroleum, that's one of the things we know about, 25% of LNG, liquid natural gas, and 20 to 30% is global data traffic via undersea cables. This is the part that they have figured out to say, hey, we are learning that the world needs this, and it's scaring these other countries, right? When it comes onto cable, let's take more control, because this is a control game here, right? So cables running through the strait include the AAE1, Southeast Asia, Egypt, Europe, think about the countries, stops in UAE, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the Falcon Network, India, Sri Lanka, Gulf countries, Sudan, and Egypt. Then you have the Gulf Bridge International Cable System, all Gulf countries. So this is what you're looking at. Here's the Strait of Hormuz. They're coming through here. This is Iran. I believe that's also Iran. And then you have the other countries here. So they're saying, hey, you're coming through us. You got to pay up. If you don't pay up, we're capable of doing things that maybe other countries that are allies of yours are not. We're willing to make your life a living hell. Here's our demands, right? We want to not.
We got Sleepy Watcher saying, I heard those cables are hardcore, really thick, heavy resistance. Yeah, so the undersea internet cables are like armored garden hoses full of glass hair, strong enough to cross oceans, but still scared of one dumb anchor.
Not only do we want control of the ships coming through, and we want you to pay us $2 million per, 60 boats a day, $2 million, that's $120 million a day is what they want, but we also want to control the cable. Why? This becomes like the Panama Canal to the complete opposite side of the world, but it scares the crowd. Do you really want IRGC to have the control over the cables?
Dog eat hot dogs is hard to repair. Absolutely hard to repair.
Do you? The world doesn't want IRGC to have, because they're not honest players. You can't really negotiate and play with them, right? So Iran could completely destroy the cables within mines, aquatic drones, and mini submarines. Total destruction would crush the international market, slow down.
There you go. Sleepy Watcher says that's the reason I have 2 internet service at home in Asia, 1 satellite base and another cable, so I can make sure I have stable pings during FPS gaming. If one failed, I still have the Sky. There you go, buddy. What game do you play? That's cool, man. Good idea. You need it. You need it, right?
Internet speed around the world and cripple AI data centers in the Middle East. Internet traffic would reroute, but billions of dollars would be lost in the first 72 hours. But there's a big but. Iran wants control, not destruction. They want to be able to say, hey, we want to control this, like I said earlier to you. Licensing and data tolls. Hey, licensing and data tolls. All cable operators will...
Siamese, I don't understand that. Is that sarcasm or is that true? Off satellite connection, 50,000. 50,000 megabytes per second? What are you talking about?
Will be required to pay licensing fee and annual renewal tolls to operate in the strait. What? Yes. Think about, for you to be technical enough to say this cable thing is bigger than we thought about, right? Jurisdiction.
Some of those Iranians are so business savvy, man. Very cool. Inspiring.
Over tech companies, global technology giants, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, will have to operate under Iranian law. We dictate the law, not U.S.
Yeah, it'd probably be very laggy for sure.
Not anybody else. We dictate the law and cooperate with Iranian companies. Are you kidding? Like, they are now responding to Iranian companies. And last but not least, monopoly on maintenance. Foreign operators will need to use Iranian firms for cable maintenance, which helps develop Iranian infrastructure and keeps the cable as a bargaining chip. Tell me this isn't brilliant. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to get away with this, but tell me this isn't brilliant. Now, think about your U.S. and they tell you this. Do you want IRGC to have control of the cables? That's a question you got to have. You may be like, I don't care. Let them have nuclear. Let them have cables. Let them have two.
Ariana says, do you trust that guy, Patrick or Kid Rock? Question mark. It's a little difficult to see who you can and cannot trust, honestly. Do you trust that person or Kid Rock?
$1 million a day. They're their own sovereign country. Shouldn't they be able to do this? Maybe that's your position. Some of you guys may be like, what are you talking about? I don't want IRGC that's going on saying death upon America to control the cables to the world. So you mean to tell me if somebody really pisses them off, they can turn off the cable like this for everybody? Yeah, they could. No, I don't want them to have that kind of control. Okay, great. So that's kind of how you make a decision where you're at. Let me continue. So the risk to India. India's sitting here, little worried. Wait a minute. What is this all about? Why? While many nations are connected to the Hormuz cables, India is uniquely vulnerable because if they are throttled or cut off, 60% of India's total internet traffic travels from Mumbai towards Europe and the US via Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and the Red Sea. Indian internet connections are bottleneck in Mumbai. 15 out of 17 international submarine cables land in a single area in Mumbai, like we were talking about earlier. And we know India they are relying on their biggest customers that they're dealing with being the West. So they cannot have this taking place. What if something were to happen? Watch this. India's $250 billion IT sector relies on seamless connectivity, okay? So if latency jumps from 80 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds, the cloud-based tools and real-time coding environment.
Yeah, that's a lot of latency from 80 to 200 milliseconds. The only issue I have with videos like this is if Iran wasn't thinking about it, then they'll start thinking about it, you know? So it's almost like you don't want to show like the vulnerabilities of certain situations because, you know, okay, you get some more likes, you get some more views, but it's not worth it because it can really ruin it for a lot of people around. So yeah, don't give them ideas. That's right, bro. That is completely correct. And you're right. You cannot trust anyone in media. That's true. Especially these content creators who are like, oh, check out this lens, check out this camera, check out this microphone, do this, do that. Because quite often they're paid by those companies. And, you know, if they're going to be honest with you, be like, yeah, hey, I got this camera for free or I got this thing for free. So maybe my opinion is biased or whatever. Then that's kind of more respectable, you know, but some of them don't even do that.
Environments used by millions of Indian engineers becomes unusable like this. That'll be a challenge for them. And then on top of that, cable interference would disrupt the SWIFT and banking communication needed to process these billions of dollars. In the event of a cutoff, India would lose 10 to 20 times more.
I just heard 2 days ago that Tucker is controlled opposition. Don't know how accurate that is, but yeah. Massie and Alex, yeah. I heard Alex was controlled opposition as well.
Than the U.S. if this were to happen. So do you not think Iran is sitting there saying, hey, India, allies with U.S.?
Would U.S. break those cables? Good question. And what would they gain if they did do that? Wild.
If we come and talk to Russia and China, and India knows we can make their life a living hell, what is India going to do? They're right in the middle. Hey, hey, U.S., hey, please don't push too hard, Trump. Hey, we don't have any problems with Iran. Hey, let's kind of figure it out. And by the way, Pakistan's in it as well. And guess what Pakistan is doing?
Siamese says disconnect the cables now. So what would happen if they did? Like, what would happen to Iran and India?
Pakistan's also tied to this. Pakistan, you ever notice why is everybody going to Pakistan? Islamabad to bring Iran, IRGC, and U.S. to negotiate. They kind of are tied to this. If India is Pakistan, so let me wrap it up for you to kind of see what this is going on. Again, another topic. You're going to bring this up to your friends after you watch this video, and they're going to be like, oh my, what are you talking about?
True.
Yeah, of course, 750,000 miles. Most people are not even thinking about this or talking about this, except for Iran, because they know another thing for Achilles heel to the world, especially countries like India. So now, what has happened in the world before? Because what if somebody comes and attacks? Recently, in the past, we have had situations where people have stolen cable. One time, 60 people got arrested in Indonesia. They went down there. They stole a bunch of cable. They took it like, wait a minute, what is this all about? A bunch of them got arrested. It was documented. But I'll tell you some more things for us to be thinking about.
They're over there just gaming with this ultra thick, fast cable.
Undersea cables are high value and low protection. What's the protection? Are there
Sleepy Watcher says no, America will not break those cables.
Security guards by underwater? Can you imagine you go there to take the cable and rip it apart? There are like 7 people waiting there like that. That's not how it works, right? So if somebody really wanted to do something, they could. Targets that allow an aggressor to paralyze, what a word, an adversary's economy without firing a single shot. Can you imagine the influence and the power and leverage you have? Cables are at risk from direct sabotage as well as gray zone warfare like deliberate anchor drags. This is China. China plays this game. They know it's like, oh, that was just an accident. We're just fishing. We threw the anchor and it cut off the cable. We're so sorry. We're so sorry, but the timing of it's a little bit suspect. You sure that was not intentional? Oh, we would never do something to impact the world economy. Like it's not like we would ever accidentally release a.
I was wondering when someone was going to say that. I think it's kind of like a visual aid just to let people know like where he is in the reading and just giving a bunch of effort as well.
Virus that we've known for 3 weeks is in one of our cities in Wuhan. We would shut down all our airports. We would not.
They thought there were bronze cables. They're going to recycle that. Like, oh, I got some copper cables, got to recycle it.
Anybody go to other countries and stop the world economy and shut it down and lose $7 trillion? We would never drop a coronavirus like that to the world because we love the world. We're peaceful. You know, we want this thing to continue. You don't think they would do it? You don't think they would for a second want to destroy this if it got really nasty and quietly blame somebody else like a proxy war? Example, Russia specialized in submarine capable of deep sea operations and cable sabotage. What are they learning it for? What do they want to go do down there? What are they doing? Do they want to go find gold? Do they want to go find the Titanic and find that diamond? Is that what they're trying to do? Or they're learning this because they know if they go down, they're scaring the crap out of who? It's another method of attacking the enemy, right? So suspicious cable damage in Baltic Sea might be Russia testing Europe's limits. Another example, China has made itself into a regional hub for specific data networks and given it strategic leverage. Taiwan has reported. Why would Taiwan be reporting this? Why would China want to attack Taiwan? What percentage of all these semiconductor chips?
Yeah, come on, don't say that, dude. I think, well, no, do say it. It's good to explain.
Comes from Taiwan. What's the number? 80%? 85%? And you know, they think that's their country anyways, like it's Russia and Ukraine. China thinks about Taiwan the same way. So Taiwan has reported 30 subsea cable incidents in recent years, including one in which Chinese vessels severed cables and cut communication for months. Cut communications for months? Yeah. 30 of them? Yeah. 30 cases? Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Satellites are not a viable alternative right now. They're not. Only 3%. Some are even saying less than 3%. Let's say 1% is satellites, right? In April, the Bipartisan Strategic Subsea Cables Act was introduced to Congress to strengthen cable infrastructure, but how are you going to do it? Just defensive? It's the only true way to do it is defensive. No alternatives. You mean to tell me right?
Sleepy Watcher says cable stealing is a serious issue in ASEAN countries due to the high bronze market price. Trust me. Yeah. And in the United States as well, a lot of people steal copper wire from, electrical and air conditioning stuff and so many things.
Right now, America has no alternatives on how to protect the cables. We don't have no. So what's defensive? You ever hear the saying 94% of the ocean has not been, looked at, and we have not searched all of it. If 94% of the ocean has not been searched, how much security do you think we have? How capable? Even the most robust military in the world, what kind of security can you have to protect the oceans and all the cables we have below? Even we're not capable fully of doing that, right? So now when you go to the next one, here's some stories for you. Past major cable disruptions included 2008 Mediterranean cable cuts. Within a single week, 3 major submarine cables were severed near the coast of Alexandria, Egypt. Internet capacity ready in Egypt plummeted. How much? 70%. So imagine internet stops today in America. What happens? India lost over 50% of its bandwidth to Europe and the US. So let me get this straight. Mediterranean cable 3 incidents. Egypt is impacted 70% and India lost 50% of its bandwidth. It did. Man. 2011, this was tied to an earthquake. So earthquake could happen, and that can also mess up the cables. A 9.0 earthquake in 2011 off the coast of Japanese simultaneously.
Awesome, Tara. Have an amazing day. Have fun doing the inventory. Thank you for being here.
Snapped multiple trans-Pacific cable systems. Repairs took months and a whole fleet of ships. Months, about 3 months. How long? 3 months. Can you wait 3 months? Can most economies wait 3 months? 2022 volcanic eruption of the Hunga volcano triggered an underwater.
Do they set up the electrocution or whatever? They're like, they trick them. They're like, oh yeah, it's not a live wire, and then like, oh okay. I guess
landslide severed the sole subsea link to Tonga, causing a total internet blackout 4 weeks. Total blackout 4 weeks, and in 2024, Red Sea anchor drag commercial vessel Rubamar abandoned after attack by Houthis. So they just kind of left it. Like, what are you guys doing? They left it. Houthis attacked. Dragon anchor sever 3 major cables, so that ship stays out there. The anchor's just dragging. Boom. Approximately 25% of all data traffic moving between Asia and the Middle East and Europe was disrupted. Repairs took weeks because of active conflict zones. All right, how are you feeling right now? I actually want you to ask me, what's your feeling? What are you thinking about right now?
How are you feeling?
Are you saying, well, that's not a big deal? Or are you saying, holy this is bad? How is America gonna... And so how do we negotiate? So here's how negotiation works. Whenever you go and you're trying to sell your company and somebody's buying your company, okay? Depending on who the buyer is, both parties have a leverage. This company that's selling, they have these 3 things that are their leverage that this company wants. This company that's selling has these 2 leverage that this company wants. It could be money is cheap right now, but they have other options and you're kind of desperate to sell. They know. But you know that this company that's trying to buy you is trying to get into Tennessee, Texas, and Florida, and they're not right now, and you are the biggest in Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. So you have the leverage.
Darwin Awards. Sleepy Watcher says, no, actually, those thefts, they just thought that those hardware shop rubber gloves can stop lethal high voltage while they are stealing. It's one way to learn.
So how is this leverage going to be used? Then the other part is, what if this player is a reckless player? What if he's okay if he loses the entire company? What if this player doesn't really want to sell the company? What's your leverage here? What if Iran is a reckless player and is willing to do anything to harm anybody as long as it gets its own control? Then what do you do? And how do you negotiate with them? So then do you sit there and say, let's try to do a ceasefire and let's do a deal with them because this is an honest player long term? How do you handle that? How would you handle that? Knowing all this intel that you have here. This is what's going on behind closed doors where both parties are lobbying. Some people are saying this is the exact reason why we have to get rid of IRGC. This is the exact reason why that country needs to be like some of the Gulf states that Saudi's at least working with us. Qatar is at least working with us. Some of these other countries are willing to work with us. UAE, they're kind of working with us. Yeah. How about Iran? Well, these guys are not. These guys are saying death upon America. These guys are bombing UAE. These guys are hitting Qatar. These guys are hitting other places. So folks are saying, look, if this is the case and they want to play like this, we got to move fast and get rid of these guys and definitely not give control to them. So your thoughts when you're seeing something like this, you know, I'm curious. And I know you guys are going to comment below and you guys are going to have your own debate while you're going through it. So if you got value out of this video.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. And we've got that very interesting. We got a rebuttal to those dudes that did that to the mosque. And right here, this is none other than Elon Musk's father. And reason I bring this up is, you know, a woman tried to hurt him and he was like, ha 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 ha, no girl, not happening, not happening. And once you see the video, you can be like, oh, okay, I understand it. This is Elon Musk's father. And he's not letting a woman hurt him. Let's have a listen.
And she's on the street and all her clothes are on the street. And she stayed here for 3 weeks and we got on very, very well. She was now a grown woman of just on 30.
How old were you at that time?
So I was 70.
It's just 40 years difference, eh?
40 years difference.
Yeah, roughly.
Yes. A couple of months later, she called me and said she needs to see me. So she came and she sat there and she showed me a mammogram. Or not a mammogram.
Oh, yeah. It's a scan to see the baby.
Scan, right.
And were you not nervous for your ex-wife to find out that you had a baby with her daughter?
No, she was remarried.
Yeah, I know that, but it's still unconventional, you know?
No, she was living with someone else. In that case, I should have been walking around outside her house saying, what are you doing with this other man?
So, but do you not think that's strange at all?
No. One woman's another woman. You must remember, in 2/3 of the world right now, marriageable age is 12.
Yeah, that's wrong, though.
Well, you may think so. If you look in the third world, a man won't take a woman who's second hand.
That last part, I don't like the last part, but this part where, you know, he got his wife separated from him, right? And he didn't let that hurt him. He just hooked up with his wife's daughter. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying, dude. Yeah, it's like, it's his ex-wife's daughter, and so the daughter was the daughter of her and some other dude. So it's not related to him, but it's still his ex-wife's daughter. Cowboy. Dude. Just wild. I don't know. The thing is like, women will try to hurt you and that type of stuff, and you know, don't get them back or whatever, but just kind of move forward, you know, like that. It doesn't work with that girl. Go with somebody else, you know, like it's just, yeah, dude, wild. Like that's like, and that's Elon Musk's father, you know? So I don't know. I think, just try to get inspiration, and I wouldn't say like doing that's the right thing, but, I would say like, don't give up on things, you know, because one day you can turn into somebody as good as this guy right here. This is what some would call the GOAT. So he's calling that side pocket. Just absolutely unreal. Unreal, dude. Unreal. Yeah, compared to that guy, I'm super bad at pool too, dude. But this is just absolutely unreal. Calling that side pocket from this angle, just so wild. But anyways, I love you, the Lord loves you. We're going live every single day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in those super chats, and yeah, thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and Yeah, so we watched the scoreboard turn into a warning label. Some campaigns rose, some got voted off primary island, and the 2026 map just got a lot more dangerous. You were here early, which means you are already ahead of the noise. That's right. We don't chase chaos here. We convert it into clarity, hopefully. And if I could ask for one favor, I need 100 people to like my Facebook page. You don't have to like be active on it, but it's on my YouTube. It's just a Facebook page, and if you can just like it, it'll help so I can go live on Facebook. And yeah. Anyways, hey to all Americans, happy 250th. Thank you, Sleepy Watcher. Thank you, Sleepy Watcher. Happy to have you in the chat, dude. It was super fun. You guys are all awesome. And yeah, if anyone's drinking that haterade and just giving you too much hate, let that hate just roll off of your back like water rolls off of a duck's back. And yeah, we are going to see y'all next time. I love you. The Lord loves you.